T-Pound.
In a world,
Shut the hell up.
where Carolina Panthers fans
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
have an insatiable thirst
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
for Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
Big plays, turnovers, and a porous run defense led to Panthers' hopes being humbled after a Buffalo beatdown, where those snowbirds, those Buffalo fans, took over the stadium and got to watch a home game and a shellacking as the Carolina Panthers fall 40-9 to the Buffalo Bills after a 3-game winning streak. People are wondering, are the Panthers pretenders? Is there hope for the Carolina Panthers to turn things around? It's going to be a tough week to do so as they head to Green Bay, one of the tougher strengths of schedules heading down the stretch. The Panthers are 4-4. Hey, it's better than it's been. But, boy, we're licking our wounds. It's a tough day. The Carolina Panthers got beat like they've been beating teams over the last week. You're listening to the C3 Panthers post-game show, the C3 Panthers podcast. It's Tuesday night. It's 9 p.m. We're chopping up the latest Panthers news and opinions for the fan perspective. I do it when we will, man. Cody Lack, good to see you, my friend.
Tony Dunn, you know there's nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than here with my boys talking Panthers football. We are so incredibly injured on the offensive line. Some people in the media are even wondering if Bryce should even play in the Green Bay game. The coach, Dave Canales, said that we're going to see tomorrow if he's able to practice and basically gauge his health going forward. This defense got absolutely shellacked. James Cook had a record day against the Carolina Panthers. Man, but in spite of it all, the Panthers are 4-4. We're still second place in the division after the Atlanta Falcons completely looked abysmal against the Miami Dolphins. So there is still hope. But Tony, you know that we're going to do this with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know them and love them. We got our girl KB in the building. David Screws, my boy JD, love you, brother. What's up? Easy did that. Panther Gal 73, Panther Pickle in the building, Supreme Lita in the building, VR the Hope Dealer, and Sean Kula 1B. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. It's a Tuesday night. Let's roll.
The number's 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Be a part of the show by calling in and hanging out with the crew. Big shout out to my bastard son, White Chocolate Espresso. Got to spend the weekend at his wedding with his beautiful wife, Yosha, and hung out with Supreme Lita.
Yeah.
And had a good time hanging out, and it shows you the friendships and the fun that's have been made on the C3 Panthers podcast. A great friend of mine, CK, in the house. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing fine. Listen, it's been an interesting week, day, 12 hours, whatever you want to call it. And, I'm just happy to be here with you fellas. It's always good to be able to talk about the Panthers, but there's other things we got to talk about today that are less positive and less great things to talk about, but need to be said. But I'm just happy to be here to back up my boy in everything that's been going on. So that's just happy to be here with everybody in the chat to talk about the Panthers after the very beginning of this show.
Well, it's Tuesday night. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just jump into this, man. Today I've been put in a position that I've never been put in my entire life. And by the way, this is a Panthers football podcast. That is what it will be tonight. We are going to talk about the Panthers and the Green Bay Packers coming up. That's what we do. We're here for a good time. But recently, Sheena Quick and Vashti Hurt went on the What's Up, Doug podcast, and they decided that they wanted to make some baseless, completely false accusations about me. So I'm going to play the clip of it. I'm going to let you hear it for yourself, and then I will address what they said after you hear what they said.
Not all of C3, just that guy.
Yeah.
That you're talking about, that I was talking about last night.
Yeah.
Cody, y'all quit playing wrong.
It's a lot. There's a lot of racist undertones and bigoted undertones to that account. I'm just gonna put it out there. Beyond football, there's a lot of racist and bigoted undertones to that account.
I'll drop the mic on that one too. That's all.
There you go, and let it be and say it, because we're proponents. People always say, "Oh, we don't hold back," because what?
Yeah. Cody Blackbeard. Cody has a lot of racist undertones to his account. He has a lot of bigoted opinions that go beyond the scope of football on that account. He hides it behind football, and that's not all of C3.
So there you have it. That's the clip in question. And I would like to personally address Miss Nashina Quick. If you're going to go on a public platform and call me a racist and a bigot, it is incumbent upon you to say something to back up those facts that you just blatantly lied about to everyone on that podcast and to everyone basically on the internet who had no idea what was going on. I tried to send Sheena and Vashti a message on Twitter. I was not rude. I was not disrespectful. I just addressed the facts of the matters that I do not appreciate.
Message, by the way, Greg.
A direct message that I do not appreciate being called a racist and a bigot. I believe that people on this podcast and a part of this community know that I have gone above and beyond to make C3 a place where all Panthers fans feel welcomed, feel like they can voice their opinions, and feel like they can say whatever they want, and we will welcome absolutely anyone to this show, regardless of their race, their age, their religion, or any other factor that people might consider racist or whatever. We have personally tried to invite Sheena on this podcast on 3 different occasions. The first 2 times, she ghosted us completely, said that she was going to come on the show. We put her in the description of the show, advertised that she would be on the show, only for her to ghost us and never say anything at all. We invited her a 3rd time. I sent her the messages. I sent her the links. Then 30 minutes before the show, once again says, "Oh, I don't want to be on. I'm not coming on." Didn't give me a reason why. Didn't say anything. And just basically left it as it was. Now, she also mentioned me on the Quick Blitz podcast the night before and mentioned my Andy Dalton takes. And that's fine. You can say whatever you want about what I put on Twitter that's Panthers related. I thought that Andy Dalton was going to come in and torch the Buffalo Bills.
We told you that,
and
was
I
wrong,
was
too.
wrong,
We
dude.
told you
I was
that.
very, very wrong.
We tried to tell you that one.
But you know, and listen, I also understand that even me bringing this up right now is fanning the flames and potentially making this a bigger deal than it would have been. But I tried to message them respectfully. She put out a tweet saying, "I'm not reading all that." So I'm like, maybe you should. Then she told me to kick rocks. So I tried to do this a respectful way, in a way that wasn't public, in a way that wasn't in front of everyone. And she decided to not do that and not take that lane. I also want to start by saying this. I respect Sheena and Vashti for the work that they do. They put in a ton of work, a ton of effort into following this team and putting out information that we use on this podcast. But what I promised you I'm not going to do is let somebody use their platform to go out and publicly slander my name and call me a racist and a bigot. This cripple will stand 10 toes down on that. I'm not letting that roll. You know, some of my closest family friends are Black and Dominican. So for me to hear that from Sheena and Vashti, I heard as well, because she was there egging it on, pushing it forward. I do not respect it. I don't deserve it. And if you don't like my opinions on Panthers football, that's fine. But you are not going to go out there and make baseless, absolute lies about me and my name and what we have tried to build up the C3 community to be. Like I said, I didn't want to spend too long on this because this is a Panthers football podcast, but a racist and bigot, I certainly am not. And that's really all I need to say.
Cody, one I think is well, I don't even know one. One, look, is you're my friend, you're my brother, and I know that you're a kind,
thank you, man,
thoughtful human being. In fact, I know you as someone who, obviously, for coming from your own background, right, in your own life, right, the challenges that you've gone through, and go through every day, as just straight from physical. I mean, like if you ever met Cody and you saw the humanity, if you saw this person as a human, you would recognize that this person has not been walk through life without more adversity than any single person
no pun
that you
intended
could imagine. You know, oh yeah, actually, sorry, that was
no, dude, it's cool, man.
I'm sorry. But I do know just from you as a person that I've seen and interacted with you for maybe 8 years now or more. That you also have are always interested in the disaffected, right? In society, and the people that are, that, I mean, I think there's an empathy. I mean, there's a reason that Franklin Roosevelt was the most popular president in human history or in American history. And he was somebody who was born into the highest stations of life, and but after his bout with polio, became particularly more in tune with people and their struggles and their challenges. So I do know that about you, is that someone who is that to believe that I know that your character, one, I would test to your character, your intent, all of that. I think one of the things that comes about that's disheartening about, and not just this situation, but just the internet, and like, look, as I love the internet in so many ways, right? It's like it's given us an opportunity to just hang out with our friends. I mean, like, we really do this for fun. I mean, at the end of the day, this is completely for fun. If you thought that we were trying to build something that was monetarily gainful, we have wasted 14 years of our life if that was the goal.
Also some of the things that she didn't say, the reason that I love this football team is because of Cam Newton. Yeah, like it's. I'm gonna be real. It's kind of hard to be racist and be a lover of the Carolina Panthers when most of the best players in the history of this team are proud black men. I'm not in the market of making people feel lesser than. And like you said, Tony, as someone who's been confined to a wheelchair my entire life, I do feel a sense of dignity and pride for cripples, bastards, and broken things. People that have had it harder in life, people that have been through a bunch of different things. So, in no way do I ever want to make someone feel lesser than for something that they cannot control. That is not in my character. That is not who I am as a man. I want to personally thank everybody in the chat room who's giving me love and support. I'm good. Over 35 years of living, I've built up a very tough skin over a lot of different things. There's not much to offend me or, make me a cold, bitter person. I receive a lot of vitriol on Twitter, and I personally don't care, man. You're allowed to say whatever you want about me. That's allowed. I say a lot of vocal football opinions very loudly. But when you start attacking my character over football opinions just for likes and clicks, like, it says more about you than it does me. And I also want to say, I'm not interested in a continued grudge with Shane and Quick and Vashti Hurt. Like I said, they do great work. I'm not trying to devalue that in any way, shape, and form. And if ever they want to come on C3 and have a discussion with us and address this and talk football, we would be open to that as well. You know, I'm about moving on, letting bygones be bygones, and putting things in the past that belong in the past. But, you know, after seeing that today, it would not have sat well with my character if I just let that float out there without ever addressing it. So,
well,
yeah,
but my comment, and what I want to just say about the things that the positives of the internet, the access to democratization of knowledge, democratization of voice. There is one thing that's been hyper accelerated, and that is the impersonal nature of society, right? And that is that we tend to interact with the world with a less humanistic way, I think, in some ways, because you don't see and talk to people and tone and different things to that effect. And what this leads to, I think, is another thing is that I think we casually, well, I won't say we, I think there's a tendency in the world at sometimes to casually throw around very heavy terms, the ists, the isms, right? From racist to bigotry to fascist to this. And so casually throw those around. And one of the things I think that is that one of the things I think that people do, or is common on the internet, is that if you disagree in some capacity, in a worldview, even on something even minor, that you can then hyperbolize it with the isms and the ists and things like that, you know. And those terms have, when they're thrown around casually, I think it devalues. Yeah, they lose meaning. And so not for a second to diminish the realities of inequities in the world and problems among race, class, gender, and this and that. But I think that it's important to be careful and cautious and remembering that people are people. And the last thing I will say is that if you're going to say these things and then follow it up by referencing as a kind of a source of celebration one of the most offensive people I've ever seen on where I've met this person in person, and the Monty guy.
Yeah,
it's just arguably, and I will tell him, I'm happy to tell him to his face, he's the meanest, rudest person I think I've ever met on the internet.
Openly racist himself, by the way.
I have to say that. I would just say he's the meanest dude in the history, like that, to me.
Well, I want to make this clear.
I never want to have any personal connection in that way,
right?
And then to be lectured or whatever by someone who does a Saturday shenanigans the section on their whatever page and puts up the most foulest sexual imagery, and then to see that those people feel some sort of satisfaction in this was disheartening to me.
So, and I did want to say one thing to that point, you know, because later on in that clip, it continued on past it. But, you know, they mentioned Monty and said that, you know, he's always talking crap about me, which he absolutely is. Monty made personal threats to our very own Nova Black and his family and his kids, threatened to literally shoot them. And I said this in my personal message to him. I'm like, I refuse to be lectured or have somebody like Monty take the moral high ground on me, like at all whatsoever. Me and Monty used to do a podcast with Desmond Johnson. And, you know, after him and I fell out, I blocked him. I have nothing to do with him anymore. And I'm not someone that blocks people. You know, generally, I'll let you say whatever you want to me. I really don't care. But to me, Monty is one of the lowest class people on the internet. All he does is start beef and drama. So it's like if they're getting their source of information from him, then it's like, come on, what are you even doing? This dude was banned on Twitter multiple times for saying racist shit. You literally can't make it up, dude. So, but yeah, I've said all I really have to say, boys. CK, Tony, if there's any more you would like to add, I'm cool. I'm ready to get on to Panthers football whenever y'all are ready.
I'll make my point. There's a few things I'll say. Number one, please, for the love of all that is holy, keep this at C3. This doesn't need to go into Quick Blitz. It does not need to go to Sheena on her Twitter. It does not need to be something that C3 is now feeling like they have to go to arms for Cody. Cody's a big boy. He's going to handle this the way he needs to handle this. That's that part. Please keep this. It's just if best thing you can do is ignore them. If that's what you need to do to not go in there and create some sort of drama. Number two, I am extremely disappointed in this behavior. Okay. To tell you how much we respected Sheena and the work that she does.
And
Cody already talked about it. We invited her on once. She agreed, ghosted us, didn't talk to us, didn't tell us she wouldn't come on.
And this was years ago. This has been years, dude.
Right. This was before all the drama.
Hold on, Tony. Hold on. We did it a second time because we cared enough and we respected what she did. Yeah. And she ghosted us 2 times. Now, normally people who don't respect a person of a specific color or creed wouldn't then go back to the well and say, we'd still love to have you on, even though 2 times before you have ghosted with no explanation, no say, hey, listen, sorry, I got busy. They're not, just straight up ghosted. We still invited you on a 3rd time. Okay. And so this is so disheartening and disappointing to me because when we talk about the beat reporters, we play a lot of Sheena's stuff. We go to her and we credit her and we tell everybody. We have not said, when people have vocally in our streams tried to say that Sheena is only in the position she's in because of what she is as a woman, we have shut it down, because what we're not going to do is try to make this out to be like she accomplished something that she didn't deserve. She's in the position she's in because she earned it, right? We all agree with that. We think that she deserves to be there, and I'm not going to crap on that accomplishment. But to be in that position, she would agree with this statement. When you're at a position of, some would say, power, you have an extra responsibility. Yes. You hold these athletes to the same responsibility. You hold the coaches to the same responsibility. You have a responsibility to be better, and to come in here with I will ask you, provide your proof. Everybody on Twitter, it's a fake place. I agree. It doesn't exist, and nobody is who they really are on Twitter. I agree with that. But when people are calling Cody racist, and I ask them why, not a single person can give me an excuse why.
Can't answer.
Not a single person can even make up a lie about it. They all say, well, it's because it makes me feel that way. You cannot, Sheena, please listen to me. As a journalist, you and I both know you cannot go on a public platform and throw these types of accusations at somebody, because people have lost their jobs and their lives for less. And you know it. And people of color have dealt with that on a longer basis than Cody has. And to be a person who is doing that to somebody else is incredibly disappointing. We all agree that there should be equality in the world. Not a single person believes that one person deserves something over another person unless they have earned it. We believe you earned your spot. Show us that you deserve to stay there. That's all I'm asking. We would love to bury the hatchet, and all that takes is an apology. But
I tell you,
you cannot be this way and expect that this is going to be okay. You're going to get away with it if you don't apologize. Nobody's going to come back at you because you've got a fan base, and it's clear by the people reacting on Twitter that nobody cares to actually dig deeper. They just expect that that's true. They all do. You're going to get away with it if you don't, and I agree. I think we all agree with that. But morally, you understand that there's an action you need to take here, And the best action is to go and talk to Cody. It doesn't have to be public. Have a conversation. That's all we ask for. And we're not going to crap on you. We're not going to say anything negative about who you are. We're just disappointed.
No one is without fault, and that is Cody Lack for sure. And he's being guilty of wrong takes on quarterbacks or whatever it may be. Where if there is a real guilty verdict to be assigned to Cody, it's just for being so stubborn in his football takes. That's it. Yeah. That is what you are. You're just damn stubborn on football takes, right? And that's why we have the whole die on the hill statement. So that's enough.
Yep. Let's move on.
And again, like CK said, is please, no one, there's no need for anybody to do anything, like not do, but like to like no, like no messaging, no, none of that is we're here to have fun and talk football and continue to build is the most inclusive community that we can, and that is by having fun. Everybody, that's why we allow everybody to fan how they like the fan. That's why Cody can have some silly takes on Andy Dalton that I told you were silly. I told you they were silly. I said, this is bull.
People also told me that Matt Corral is not a franchise quarterback, and I still don't believe him, dude. And you know what? How about this? No matter what your race, religion, or creed, if you would like to be a part of tonight's show and talk about Panthers football, call into the show at 252-228-5098, because that's what we do. We want people to come here and have their voices and opinions heard, no matter what it is relating to the Carolina Panthers, who are currently sitting at 4-4. We thank you for your time and for your attention to this matter. Now, are y'all ready to talk some Panther football, for fuck's sake?
Let's do it.
And
let's do it.
Some hot takes on the game itself, but we'll go through the order right now.
Yeah, man.
After the week 8, there was a sort of stubbornness in itself in the offense when it came to Carolina about wanting to maybe honor and respect Chuba Hubbard coming off an injury, but Rico Dowdle coming off of like some transcendent type performances in the 3 games before. They went to this every other series solution. Chuba, Dowdle, Chuba, Dowdle, Chuba, Dowdle. Even in this game against the Bills, explosiveness, it was Chuba, explosiveness, Chuba, explosiveness. And when I say explosiveness, I mean Rico Dowdle, every time he got the ball, made something happen and moved the chains, kept drives alive. And right now, it looks like the Carolina Panthers, in a diplomatic way, are saying it's time to go with Rico Dowdle as RB1.
Yes, sir. And go ahead. Yeah, Tom, before we go forward, wanted to make sure I read some of these love bombs from the wonderful C3 Legion. Loud Pack Luke says, keep pounding C3, beat Green Bay. John B. Jenkins, a member for 38 months. C3 equals family. Other pods give me grift vibe. Love you, John B. And our girl, Kristen Butler. I apologize. I did not read this sooner, love. Andy on Sunday must have been possessed by Oprah, because old Rusty Rifle was definitely gifting out sacks, interceptions, fumbles, and injuries. What a shit show. By the way, Cody Lack, keep being you. We are all fam. Thank you, Kristen Butler. I appreciate all the love from everybody in the chat tonight. You guys are incredible.
Rico Dowdle to take over as RB1, and they don't say this explicitly. I think Dave Canales came out and said we got to put the best players, play the best players. He's not only been the hot hand, but he clearly looks to be. I mean, when I say looks to be a better player, please, if you're Chuba Hubbard or anybody like not related, but like this is not a defamation of Chuba Hubbard. It is just this is a celebration of Rico Dowdle and how good he's been so far. I think I was a little stunned that this wasn't more of that. Could you not have gone Rico heavy, feature Chuba, or like bring Chuba in a respectful way, but not feeling like you're doing them dirty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Chuba Hubbard has been a veteran on this football team. He's a captain of this football team, and a lot of people in the locker room look up to him. So in a way, I don't really fault Dave Canales for wanting to show love and loyalty to everything that Chuba Hubbard has done for this team. However, it bears repeating that through 8 weeks of Panthers football, Rico Dowdle continues to show that he is the hot hand in the running back room, Tony, and it's pretty much inevitable. And as well as anyone, I have been a long-time supporter and fan of Chuba Hubbard. I still am. But, I mean, anyone watching and even looking at the stats can tell that Rico Dowdle at this point has, proven that he is the hot hand and that we need to continue to feed him. This is from Joe Person. After trying to make a balanced backfield work, Panthers Dave Canales seems ready to ride the Rico Dowdle Express. It's the right call, and Canales won't worry about making everyone happy. He says, I have to make sure to keep it about the football. And by the way, the Panthers released their depth chart, and it appears that they are taking note because Rico Dowdle is listed as our number one running back ahead of Chuba Hubbard. So maybe this is Canales and the organization finally saying, okay, we relent. Rico is the guy, and we need to continue to feed him and run with him forward at this point.
I mean, I don't really have much other than say this. Like, duh.
I know.
I mean, he's good. He's good. I mean, it's like, how are you going to keep this guy on the team next year? Probably not. You're probably not going to be able to. I mean, I hope that they can find a way. I think it was a gift that they were able to get him at such a discounted price.
Yeah.
And it's like it is this, and I wouldn't say poor guy because, an undrafted rookie free agent who then excels, has 1,000-yard season or two in Dallas, plays so dang hard and is so versatile. I mean, this guy can run between the tackles. He can run the outside. He can catch the ball. Good on the mic. This is an all-around player, and arguably, I would say just an all-around back. And I think it's going to be difficult for the Panthers to give him the money that he's worth. I hope they can find a way to get it done. But this is, he's just good. He's just freaking good. Yeah. And you watch what could be argued as the best back in the league or one of the top 3 backs in the league in James Cook. And I look at Rico Dowdle and I say, this guy plays, he's in that caliber, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rico Dowdle, it's the fact that this dude 2 weeks in a row was splitting reps and our run game was glaringly, obviously not nearly as good. Now, there are additional factors that I think are worthy of acknowledging that the Buffalo was, had a lot of key pieces back that they hadn't had all season. They were coming off of a bye. We faced the Jets, who have a pretty nice defense as well. But even just from the eye test, when it was him going up against the same defense that Chuba was going up against with the same offensive line, he just was better. And it just was incredibly disappointing to see his touches go down in such a significant way. He got the ball 8 times. 8 times. Most, to give you an idea of why that's so substantial as far as had to decrease, I'm pretty sure his best weeks, he was touching the ball 30 times.
Who, Dowdle?
Dowdle
only 8 carries. I guess when you go into the second half, you got to tune up the run game. Yeah, you got to tune up the passing game. The Panthers gave Hubbard 12 carries. I tell you, most of them, if that's the case, then most of the carries came in the first half, and they were all for positive and significantly positive yardage.
Right.
Had a big play.
24-yarder, 25-yarder, yeah.
Yeah, and they also had a big important play on, I don't know if it was those two. They're like identical drives that occurred at the end of the second quarter. Well, maybe the one that was the interception. But like I think Dowdle had a big play and then the interception happened. But then he had a big catch or a big run on that second on like as you're marching down, trying to slow the bleeding. Rico Dowdle is definitely the best. I mean, he's the best. I mean, to be honest, I'll say this: he's the best offensive player on the team right now. Period. I mean, put out of everybody. And I know that we love Tet. We love a lot of people. And maybe there's not a lot of people that we should love overall. But Rico Dowdle, I don't Dowdle him one bit. What do we got next?
Yeah, going back to the presentation. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was just joking in the background.
No, you're good. So the Panthers looked like contenders just a week ago. Now they look like pretenders. Their 40-9 defeat to the Bills wasn't just a loss; it was an exposure. The offense is fragile without Bryce Young. The defense can't sustain pressure against top competition, and the depth issues are impossible to ignore. Carolina still has time to steady the ship, but this game felt like a harsh dose of truth. Shout out to Ricky Raines from Panthers on Tap. Says, you know what's kind of crazy but true? That beat down the Panthers just ate didn't really change my opinion on the team at all. I wish I could say the same. The injuries on this offensive line have me feeling a lot worse about this team. Boys, what say y'all?
This is where my hot takes are going to come in, and the hot takes are good takes. In fact, I'm with and to put some context to Ricky Bobody's tweet, because you don't like it's without any context. And Ricky, I hope I'm not misstating your opinion, right? Is that the positive components that we took away from this team and the growth, whether it be the defense, whether it be the coaching improvement, whether the progression of this team, should not be wiped away. And here is where my hot take comes in agreement. Is I don't think that this was the worst loss that the Panthers have suffered. Or maybe if you factor in all the injuries and all of this, and I'm with Ricky. In fact, it doesn't tremendously change my opinion, my viewpoint of the team. Now it might change the pathway to wins and losses, right? And what that means,
Right.
because now with such a debilitating loss, with injuries abound, then going on the road to Green Bay, and then having to play those tough teams in the back end, right? Maybe it's not a pathway to the amount of wins I hope for, but I know this was a painful loss and a painful game for Panther fans,
Right.
but I do think that there is like some things to not certainly not celebrate, but to consider. Is you're playing a team that's coming off of a bye, that is been kind of playing under their position in a sense, right? As a team that a lot of people are wondering if some of these these cracks, the Atlanta game, the close games and this and that, the lack of a passing game, a defense that can't stop the run but is pretty good against the pass, is that you had a team that's coming in with a lot of motivation, a lot of grit, a lot of continuity, as in from the GM to the coach, the quarterback abound, and also some kind of Panther insiders too, in the fact that they had several players that are very intimately familiar with the recent, played on the team last year, and even that first or the Dalton interception, and Shaq's pointing. It really just felt like he knew where the ball was going. Olsen said something in the broadcast. And I know that the Panthers defense gave up just crazy yards and some different things like here.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I'm walking away from I'm not. I don't think. I know I'm not walking away from this game going that this Panthers defense is not. I told you guys, or at least I've been in the position, this Panthers defense has really been the best part of this team throughout the season. And one of the great components of that is that the Panthers defense is doing that on in the wake of one of the worst or two worst years or three worst years, I don't even know, like in the historical run of the team. So not only have they gotten better, but they got better from being so bad. This game right here, to be honest, I'm surprised it was just 40 points that they allowed. I mean, they're going against a team that is just better, than they are. You're without your starting quarterback. You then beat yourself a few times. I mean, not only a few times, but there really was. This kind of comes back to the old Ron Rivera adage that a few big plays change the game. The Panthers survived, and I thought if the Panthers survived 2 drives with just giving up field goals, right? And they were not able to respond in any meaningful way after that. Right. But the Panthers survived, and they survived that in the wake of a turnover too, as Andy Dalton fumble, and you come away and you're down. You're down 6, right? The defense put them in a difficult position after their first the Panthers' first drive. This Bills' second drive, it was really a 3rd and 10 conversion on the Bills' second drive to Kincaid, but that only led to a field goal. The Panthers were able to respond with a field goal, but another giant play where Cook busted off a giant run, right? And at this point, I'm driving back from Kev's wedding in the car watching it, and I thought with that James Cook run that the game was over.
Yeah.
I thought this game was done with the second quarter interception too. That Dalton, they not only did you have that big one, but then you have Dalton throwing that interception after maybe getting the ball and trying to slow the bleeding, which then gets them down to the goal line. And I think they're down 19-3 at that point. And the Panthers got the ball back with 1:47. Dowdle had made a good play. Dalton made a good throw, but then he took a sack, and I was like, gosh, come on. I don't know. Nothing's going to happen. And then there was a big pass to Coker, right? Yeah. And you get down there, and again, Dalton takes another sack, and you're like, ugh. I mean, maybe you're going to get 3. Maybe you're going to get nothing. You get the Joey Bosa penalty, and man, the clock's you're like down, clock's ticking, and you're like, oh, if they really could just somehow score a touchdown here, and it's 19-10, I mean, yeah, the Bills are probably going to win this game, but it's not the runaway.
Right.
But you open the half up. The next half, you come out, the Bills get the ball, you get the Shakir touchdown. It's game over at that point. They scored 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and it was a runaway. I mean, the beatdown was bad. They got a lot of yards on the ground. Honestly, I didn't think it was as bad as it could have been. And, I mean, I don't know if having Bryce in there would have changed it to a win. I think early on, maybe it could have helped. I actually thought, and this is my hottest take, is that despite Dalton playing terrible, right, and awful, is that as a veteran and just the only time he thrived was like that throw to Coker. It's like he just did he read the play, he just threw it. He just did what was supposed to happen.
Right.
And I thought that maybe as they drove down with 1:47, that having a veteran in there in that one moment may have been a little advantage over Bryson, just that one moment. But overall, I mean, the team would have been far better, but you can't, it was just a dam that you were just trying to plug the gaps with. And it just you plug one, and they didn't. And they really it was just a runaway, and that's it. And I still go back. I think the New England game was a bigger beatdown than this.
Well, let me ask y'all this, right? Obviously, we needed Bryce. CK, you were correct the whole time. There were a number of plays. Tony too. There were a number of plays that, specifically, even when it comes to sacks, like Andy Dalton is just a statue. Like the dude is a 37-year-old statue. He cannot move to save his life, quite literally. Even on the early fumble, and by the way, part of the reason why I was so confident that he would be able to go out and have a good game is because he did it the past 2 seasons in a row. He put up 300+ yards performances the last 2 years in a row. However, Andy Dalton has regressed even more so and is just terrible at this point in his career. On that early fumble, he had Chuba Hubbard wide open in the flat. It might not have been a first down, but it definitely would have moved the sticks. And I also feel like, Andy Dalton kind of was trying to make a little bit of magic because he knew how bad he was playing. So his throws were just off the mark. He would later admit that in the post-game press conference and said that he did not give his team a chance to win this. My question for both of you, because a lot of people were kind of insistent that this team could have won the entire game if we just had Bryce Young under center. I personally think that's absolute nonsense. Bryce Young doesn't play defense, and it doesn't stop James Cook from cashing this defense for 216 yards. Now, do I think it would have been more competitive? Absolutely. I think that miss to T-Mac in the back of the end zone, that's a touchdown. If it's Bryce throwing him the ball, I think there was one play where Jalen Coker was also streaming open in the back of the end zone. I think Bryce probably hits him on that play too. But there is no way that Bryce Young's presence makes this defense better than it was or stops James Cook from being such a dynamic run threat, which he absolutely was. How do y'all feel?
I'll say that I think the only argument you could make against that being true would be if this was a more competitive game, they wouldn't have just run the ball nonstop. Right. And then you put the ball in Josh Allen's hands, which, again, by all intents and purposes, would
that could be disastrous too.
Could be a disaster as well. However, the way that this secondary had been playing the last few weeks, you'd like to think that would be, a net positive for this team. They weren't able to stop the run from drive one. Like, let's not get it twisted. Let's not pretend like it was because the offense wasn't able to keep them on the field or anything like that. That was just, and there's no evidence that you could provide to make that seem true, because it's drive one. We were already showing that we couldn't stop James Cook. So that I agree with you, Cody. I don't think the outcome changes as far as the L that we took. I do think that there is a chance that we could have won this had this been a shootout that we were able to just go back and forth with. Do I think it would have gone that way? I think we would have felt a lot better about our team after the win, after that loss, had Bryce been in there. I'll just leave it at that.
What do y'all think of ERH Demex, who says, Cody, that's not how it works. The defense checked out once there was no hope. The defense held up at the beginning of the game.
I don't even know if they checked out, man. I think it was you kind of you're shell shocked at that point. I said before we went into this game is that having Bryce Young at quarterback certainly gives you a better chance in this game.
Yeah.
Right. Is that having the best players at that moment or is at every point, you know what I mean? Like, we'd rather have Robert Hunt than Brady Christensen. We'd rather have, you want to have your better players. Now, by no means am I ready. I mean, no, the Panthers likely would not have won this game if you just had Bryce, right? Having Bryce would have given you a better chance. But even the defense and to ERH Demex's comment, which has there's an air of not validity. I'm not trying to diminish the comment by any means, but so much of football or any, I think, is like it's contingent on other things, right? So is that I mean, you've walked in there and you've seen Bryce have first quarter turnovers too, right? So it's not like you would just automatically have he doesn't.
You wouldn't be playing in a different
right. But like, again, if the Panthers were able to keep this game closer, right? It allows your defense to play differently, allows your offense to play differently. Even if the Panthers were able to score on that drive going into the second half where the game's not out of hand. I mean, it was like, oh Lord, this is out of hand. It's getting out of hand, and the fact that they were able to drive down that even after turning the ball over and put themselves in a position to score some points, I thought, man, it's like, oh, wait a second. There's still a little life in this. It's not out of hand completely. It's not a runaway. So I think if, the Panthers had Bryce Young and they were able to respond maybe with some points earlier, and to keep the Bills from just doing whatever they wanted whenever they wanted. I think that would help the defense. I think at the same time, we saw how much that Bryce has flourished just from having Rico Dowdle put them in good down and distance position. So like the Panthers were just behind from the gate. You know, the line was over 8 points, and you're not good enough when you're not a polished, good team. I mean, this stuff happens.
Yes,
this stuff happens. So like I am with Ricky is that like, no, I actually still think that the Panthers defense has some really good strengths to it. I think the fact that A'Shawn Robinson was ready to try to kill somebody in this game shows that they were
dude.
It's like they really held them. I mean, if you think about that first quarter of holding them to 2, like to me, I'm looking at this is like if you hold an offense or like a Josh Allen, James Cook to that, if you're holding them to field goals, like you're really doing something good on defense at that point. It just got out of control. I mean, the third quarter was crazy. And I think it's wild that there was only like 3 possessions in the fourth quarter.
Right.
There's no scoring in the fourth quarter except for the Panthers. And they put up 40. So, I mean, it's like, I wouldn't say burn the tape. This is not a burn the tape game. But
close. It may not be burning completely, but maybe warm it up.
I think New England was a worse of a loss. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. But I think now the biggest question is what's going to happen going forward? What is the status for Bryce Young? That's what's on everyone's mind, and that's certainly what's on our mind.
Be Andy Dalton. I think this is and you go ahead and read this because I think there's something to some people saying we shouldn't play Bryce Young on the road in Green Bay if he's not ready. Or if he's not, I'm okay with that actually, but I have a different solution than Andy Dalton.
Now I'm with CK. I'm of the mindset that Bryce better play. If we're gonna have any chance to win, he better play. And also now we're at the same point where we're still evaluating Bryce Young. We're deciding if we're gonna pick up his 5th-year option. We're still determining if he is the future franchise quarterback for the Panthers in general. So this is from, and make sure I give credit. Did I not put it? This is from Sports Illustrated. Pardon me for not putting the name. Will Bryce Young play this week? Maybe it's still a bit of a long shot. Young didn't practice last week and unsurprisingly ruled out against the Buffalo Bills in an eventual ugly 40-9 loss. Dave Canales said after, pretty close. He made progress throughout the week, but didn't feel confident enough to get him out there to be able to do all the things he needs to do to be successful. We'll circle back around early this week and hope is to get him back out there on Wednesday doing something. But again, we got to be smart and do the right thing. So what this also means, tomorrow, Wednesday, is a huge day for Bryce, and if he will play or not, and what he's capable of doing. We've already seen a bunch of different clips of him last week doing sprints up and down the sideline, being physical, trying to get back there on action. But Zach Roberts says why the Panthers might be better off holding Bryce Young out one more week. He would go on to say mostly the Panthers ought to play it safe with Young because this is an awful matchup. If you missed it, more than half of the offensive line, which is already banged up, went down with injuries on Sunday, some of which are serious. Kevin Quanu and Damian Lewis have no injury designation, but Taylor Moton and Cade Mays are questionable. Brady Christensen is likely to join Robert Hunt on season-ending IR, which
he had a serious Achilles injury.
Yeah, he tore his Achilles. Austin Corbett, Josh Kerham, and Josh Nyman are set to play. And who's waiting for them this week? Oh, just Micah Parsons, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. What's going to happen when Parsons takes on an offensive line that is better in run than pass blocking without several starters and a hobbled quarterback behind them? Nothing good. So now we're asking ourselves, if Bryce is still even a little bit injured, are we already at the territory where we sit him to try to get him healthier for later on down the road? Or is this a must-win game right now that Bryce Young must be a part of as we go on the road to Lambeau?
No, it's not a must-win game. It's going to be probable loss game, even if Bryce plays. And that's not me knocking on Bryce. That is that the Green Bay Packers are a better team. And certainly every given Sunday, you have an opportunity to beat that team. Rushing a player back and feeling like it's a must win for a team that, yeah, we are hopeful or happy and heartened that the team has improved from last season to this year. We're hoping and heartened when Bryce Young continues to show progression that he could continue to be the Panthers quarterback and this and that. But you're talking about not only a decimated offensive line, but even if we were fully healthy, think of this. If the Carolina Panthers are fully healthy and go in this game, they're not going to be favored. And I'm not saying they couldn't win that in that situation. It's like, but it's
I think we're 12 and a half points underdogs.
It's
on
Green
the road.
Bay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for me is that if Bryce has any, look, I would rather the Panthers. My suggestion would be start Hendon Hooker over Andy Dalton and say, look, even if Bryce came back and gave it a valiant effort and played, there's a good chance you're losing this game anyway. So why don't you save it, circle the wagons, get as healthy as possible, and then try to win some games when you get back into the division and back around home. This is the 2-game stretch. I know, like, we wanted to split one of these, but it's not like, oh, if you don't win this game, this season is any more over than it would be if you lost it. You know, I mean, so I don't see this as a must. I don't see any game as a must win. Even with that Jets game, I said this is a must not lose game, not a must win. No, I say this though. But Andy Dalton, I was dumb. I mean, no, just go ahead and put Hendon Hooker out there. Go lose if you got to lose, and try to get a little healthier till you come back. Where you play the Saints or somebody like that when you get back.
But what if they don't play Hendon Hooker? What if it's Andy Dalton again?
No, that's what that's my solution is I would say is just put Hendon Hooker in. Thank you, Andy, for your service. You really didn't want to come back. Nobody really wanted you back. And I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to be rude. Andy is like, do you remember it was like, I don't know if I want to be a backup or this, that last year is like, then I'm just okay with it. Is like, we thought having Andy Dalton was going to be like, in case of emergency, he could keep you a little bit more in the game than somebody else. But it didn't seem the case against Buffalo. And to be honest, out of all the things Andy Dalton did wrong in that game, it wasn't that his arm strength. It wasn't the bad throw. It was just taking sacks. I was like, why? I mean, the pockets collapsing, this and that. And I think that sack at the end of the second half, first half, excuse me. Thank you. It's like, that's the whole reason you even have a veteran in to not do that.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a heads up play. And you're supposed to, number one, I think that does fall a bit on coaching too. Like, it should be, a play that's designed to get him out of the pocket in case he does have to throw it away really quickly. The problem is, like Cody talked about, he is a statue. So getting outside of the pocket takes more time than our offensive line can take to hold up. And there's actual evidence based on the way that they played there towards the end. But yeah, I mean, I think the Andy Dalton experiment and that experience is over, I think, right? I think he's still, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. We're so late in the season already. It's what value are they going to see in that? If Bryce Young goes down, do we really feel like we have a shot? No matter whether it's Hendon Hooker or anybody else in there. I don't think so. So, I mean, it's at the end of the day, if Bryce Young goes down, having Andy Dalton may be the only way we can make sure we lose out the rest of the games, maybe. But yeah, that was, you're hitting the nail on the head with that assessment that having him in there was the reason you don't have, like, that's the point of having a backup quarterback that's a veteran, is that you're not supposed to take those negative plays. He may not be doing the explosive plays like he had last year, but he's at least supposed to mitigate the problem ones.
Never expected that. And to me, out of all the turnovers that were the first turnover by Andy Dalton was, in my sense, kind of justifiable or forgivable. I mean, guy coming up behind him, he's running. Getting positive yards is a good play until that. But then that pick, just the sacks, dude, the sacks. And I know that we get so hyper focused on how bad this was because once they got steamrolling and they hit some big plays, then the Panthers, they kind of got like they were discombobulated on defense and gave up some big plays. But early on, that defense was playing well. I mean, you had Nick Scorton with that sack, and then who's the guy? Wanham, who's ripping Josh Allen's t-shirt and stuff. And if anything, Josh Allen, when he was passing, there was a couple of plays like that Kincaid play. There's a couple of plays he made that were really were good, but it was not like Josh Allen was just, even when he had the ball in his hand, was just straight dealing on this team. But once the wheels came off the bus, I almost don't watch the second half of that game. And I did. And after that Shakir touchdown, I was like, I'm driving. By the way, I went to a Buc-ee's on the way home. Have you guys ever been to a Buc-ee's?
I've never been, but I've really wanted to go.
They're fucking banana. Well, they are wild. It's like if you could imagine Walmart being a gas station, it's like a complex. It is.
Yeah, everyone that I've ever met that's been there fucking loves it and says it's so incredible.
It was over. I mean, I needed a Valium with all of the. I felt like there were as many Panther fans at that Buc-ee's as there were at Bank of America. Okay. Let's keep going.
It
was busy, dude. I was like, what is this?
The amount of people that I know that have told me that they need to, Panthers fans are the most crybaby fans on the planet because they were telling Bills fans to stop buying tickets and go back to New York. And, and they're like, you guys need to stop selling your tickets. And it just became a stark reminder that the majority of people that buy the Panthers tickets are doing it as an investment, trying to make money off of it. Even though this, past few years hasn't worked out, but I think there's so many people selling their tickets that aren't even Panthers fans.
Well, all those Buffalo Bills fans actually live here, though.
Oh, I know.
It's very important to remember that Charlotte is very much the definition of a transplant city.
Yes.
Lots of people from Pittsburgh, from New York, lots of people from Maryland and Maine and Ohio and all the different up north places, man. They're all moving to the south because prices are ridiculous up there. So they come here for the weather and they come here for the prices. So inevitably, when their favorite football team comes to town, what a better opportunity for them to come and cheer on their team. It had to have been like 70% Buffalo Bill fans in that stadium. Easily.
Without question. And what's wild about it is that's coming off of a 3-win streak, right? You would think the alternative would be true. But the funny part about it is, as a PSL owner, I can tell you this. Normally, the Cowboys games essentially will pay for half of your entire season's worth of tickets by selling them, which is why people do it, by the way. Like, again, if you're wanting to be real about it, you're talking about you can go to 6 games by selling and not be out of pocket at all. And, by selling 2 of those tickets the past 2 years, Cowboys tickets became dirt cheap because nobody was buying them. The Bills tickets and the Chiefs tickets last year were not that case. When you're talking about contending teams like those two, those fans, especially with the fans being diehard like they are, they show up and they're willing to pay out. And that, as is evidenced by my buddy trying to go, and they were like $400 a piece on the nosebleeds.
Anthony said, "You don't even want to know how much I spent on tickets last week." Sorry, Ant. I know.
Yeah,
that was
this is the problem with is if you are someone who, Ant lives in Charlotte, but for me, as I live kind of far outside of Charlotte. It's always a big trip and something. It's kind of like we're gonna go this game. You pick it on the opponent, the players you want to see. I think of the 2012 game.
Yeah.
That I picked, and I was like, man, I was so hyped. Got on the billboard on the big screen, such a Cam fan. I had the signs made up before we went in. We went and saw that Denver game, and Peyton Manning just carved us up. But that was the most I had ever paid for a ticket in my life, $250. You know, and I was like, I mean, that's a lot of loot. But like, that's what happens is though, when you do that, when you pick your games based on the team that you want to see, because they've got some, you know, in this case, it would be like Josh Allen, seeing the Panther players come back, James, like, is like, you do run the risk of getting curb stomped. All right, what do we got next?
Yeah. All right, man, let's continue on. Let me change slide before I throw it up. Oh, how about this, man? You know, there is if you want to be an optimist, there's always looking at the glass half full. We can always admire T-Mac continuing to do big time things. This is from the Panthers Twitter account. He was the rookie of the week, 7 receptions, 99 yards. I mean, if Bryce is in the game, he has over 100 and probably has a touchdown too.
Oh God!
Yeah, they don't stop throwing to him, and like they didn't throw to him in the final fourth quarter.
But how about this? In a very short amount of time this season, he has proven himself to be the guy to have at receiver. Like when you have to have a third.
But he wasn't actually rookie of the week here. They were asking for them to.
Votes,
this is the Panthers putting to vote.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, so like, I almost felt like this is that the Panthers should have just been quiet this week. Like ask like 799. I'm sure there's another rookie out there that had a good game on a better team than this one. T-Mac though. If you look at his, let me see if we can pull up his stats for the season. I'll do it real quick. Go ahead, Cody, and carry me while I find T-Mac's stats.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been very impressed with T-Mac. You know, my opinions are very nuanced, but I don't want to come off like I'm bashing T-Mac, right? I do wish that he had a little more early separation, like right after the ball is snapped, because I believe part of the reason why Bryce hasn't had tremendous passing numbers is because it kind of takes him a little while to get open. You're throwing it to him downfield. You're waiting for him to separate on some zone concepts. But the dude has incredible athleticism. He has the size and the skill set that's harder for smaller defensive backs to deal with. And he is a matchup nightmare for a lot of dudes. I still think
second best game of the season. Second best, where I mean, and it's close. I mean, like, is there's splitting hairs in a sense. He had 6 for 100 against the Cardinals with a 40-yard long catch. He had 7 for 99 here. His biggest, I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, 3 for 29. Right now, he's not. His catches have been kind of, I won't say up and down. They kind of, he's had some games where he had the 7, 6, and 6, and then he's had 3, 3, 4, and 5 games. Right now, he's at 37 receptions, 512 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year. I mean, what are we exactly halfway through the season? You know, you're talking about he's roughly looking at 70 catches. That he's on pace for 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think he's been incredible as I think you as a rookie, this is what you draft him for. I mean, is he going to be the greatest receiver in the history of the world? I don't know. I hope so. But he's been the best receiver that the Panthers have drafted in my lifetime. And I mean, I guess you want to go back to, I mean, except for like Steve Smith, you know, but still that was a 3rd round pick and different things. It's like you went after a high value target, and he's really not only just been good, he's been a great guy. I mean, he's just a cool dude too. So, I mean, maybe we could look at what Kelvin Benjamin's rookie statistics were.
He's probably
maybe a little higher on touchdowns, but he's really been a success. That's all I would say is this is why you drafted him.
Through 8 weeks, I'll ask you this, CK, and I know you have to dip out. But through 8 weeks, did you think T-Mac surpasses KB's rookie record?
Yes.
Benchmarks that you set?
Yes, I think so. I think as we look at the next few weeks of our schedule, I think we're going to have to be focused on the run. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we need to abandon it, but I do think that we're going to have an air attack. And I think Bryce Young and the T-Mac connection is only going to get stronger as the season continues. Do I think it's going to be like breaking the record or anything like that? I don't know about that, but I think that he's on pace for a season that I think we would be happy with any receiver having. But him being a rookie obviously gives us a lot of hope for the future. So, but yeah, I've got to dip out here, man. I got to obviously get up early. Got some new things going on with the family and what have you. So trying to get used to this new schedule of stuff. But I'll be obviously here to talk about the Panthers on Sunday with you fellas. And I just want to say, to C3 and to Cody and, obviously Tony being a part of all of this, you guys mean the world to me. And it's, it's all love here. And, I just hope everybody in the chat and everybody who's listening, anybody who is maybe even hate listening, I'm going to, keep all of you guys in my thoughts and prayers and hopes that, you wake up tomorrow, but also that you find peace in whatever it is you're doing. So love you guys.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Cody, I love you, brother. Thank you for having my back, man. Sincerely.
You got it, man. No worries, brother. I got you. You guys have a good one. Peace out.
Later, brother.
Kelvin Benjamin was in 15 games his rookie. 16 games. I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at his 2018s. 15 games his 2014 season. 73 receptions, 1,008 yards, 9 touchdowns. Really on pace to match those numbers, except for touchdowns right now. So. Tet McMillan, he's the real deal, dude. He's a great player. He's gonna be I don't like, I won't say I don't like, is that sometimes we just focus too much on like a rookie year and something like that. It's like this.
Yeah.
Is that if your rookie year is this good, I can only hope and see where it's going from there. The Carolina Panthers, though, have been suffering some injuries and are trying to make, obviously throughout the season, you have to continue to manage the roster, manage those injuries, and try to make a difference and going forward and getting better. Carolina Panthers went out and got a guy today, Cody. And actually, if you look a little bit around the San Francisco chatter, is that this is a guy that they kind of like. You know what I'm saying? So that's always good when you go and get somebody off of a practice squad and people have good things to say about him. Today, the team waived defensive tackle Jaden Cremuddy and signed outside linebacker Travis Gibson off the 49ers practice squad. The 28-year-old Gibson has appeared in 59 games during his career with 11 sacks. That's not bad for 59 games. He was most recently active with the 49ers, playing in 3 games and recovering a fumble. Originally a 5th-round pick of the Bears out of Tulsa, he spent time with the Jags and the Seahawks as well. So there's a little roster waiver move action. Carolina Panthers are having to deal with, I guess, continued injuries. I wonder what this is. Like, what are you is this just continuing to trying to find ways to generate pass rush maybe, or just, again, a good warm body and add some depth?
Yeah, I think it's that. I appreciate Dan Morgan for how he monitors the free agents. Listen, 11 sacks in his career. I understand why 49ers like him. But, we need depth. Shout out to JD in the chat. That's what we need. That snippet that we read earlier was talking about how bad the Panthers are in their depth. And now that we're already encountering more and more injuries, we need the bodies, man. Patrick Jones already out for the season. We're basically depending on rookies in the form of Nick Scorton and Prince Mumielin to go out there and be our pass rush from the edges. You have DJ Wanham as well, but again, you need more and more depth. The Panthers need this right now. And to me, that's what it is. And I appreciate Dan Morgan for signing these players that do have fan bases on other teams. I think that's great. And, I don't really have too much more of a strong opinion out of it. The dude's a 5th-round pick. He's kind of bounced around the NFL a little bit. Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers. But, we need his presence on this team right now, man.
All right, what's next? And then let's get to some calls soon.
Yeah, buddy. Darren,
this is just kind of a fun one for me. This is a interjection, because the Panthers have JJ Jansen, who's one of the is the older or oldest, and Calais Campbell as well.
Yeah.
Darren Gant tweeted out this is he was quote retweeting or quote. Do you call it quote reposting? I guess you would say
they call it reposting now, but you can
Reposting,
still
okay.
say. Dude, everyone says tweeting, quote
Okay.
tweeting.
The
No one's really
Broncos
rude.
worked out. The Broncos are on tear. Holy moly! Don't want to mess around with
Yeah,
those
man.
guys. The Broncos worked out 41-year-old free agent Mercedes Lewis today, tight end. Derek Gant put out. He played in 285 career games. If he signs, J.J. Jansen and Calais Campbell would no longer be tied for the lead of most active players, 268 each. So maybe it's maybe not the oldest, but definitely a lot of football games played. I just thought that was kind of fun. Intersectional news with the Panthers. We got anything else? Any other housekeeping to go before we get to some calls?
No, man. Let's take some
All right.
calls.
All right, let's
get
do it.
to the C3 Legion and what they have to say on the longest running Panthers podcast on the internet. We appreciate y'all more than you know. The number is 252-228-5098. Tony, let's listen to the fans.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Yo, what's going on, T3?
What up, Ant?
Charlotte. Rainy Tuesday here. Hope you all are having a good day, man. Just wanted to call in and get my thoughts. Kind of at the halfway point of the season. 2 quarters of it are done. Just kind of wanted to touch on some things. Obviously, I was this person for these last 2 games. We went 1-1. We beat the Jets in a slugfest, ugly game. And then this game, oh, damn. My hometown teams put up good fights versus us. I'm not going to lie. The Bills and the Jets, where I'm from. The Bills fans were cool for the most part, mainly just because I told them I was from Rochester, and they're like, oh, you're from Rochester? And I'm like, yeah, so they didn't mess with me. But there also is a lot of history between Buffalo and Carolina, so they were pretty cool. But on to the state of the team, guys. We touched on this in Spaces last night. It sucks. I know Dan Morgan is a guy who has consistently kind of kept our standards to a reasonable rate with this team and kind of hasn't openly acknowledged, like, yeah, I don't know about playoffs for this team. And all of that's fine, being reasonable. And that's something I try to do as a fan too. I had this team at 8-9, and then on a good day, I had them at 9-8 when I looked at the schedule. But the main reason for that was I thought, Bryce and Canales were going to grow this season and take that next step and potentially upset one of these teams coming up. But man, I didn't see that. I don't have that belief right now that we can win when it matters. I brought up the analogy last night of low leverage versus high leverage. And over the past 3 since Cam was our quarterback, we've been the low leverage Panthers. We beat up on teams that are worse than us, that are more injured than us, that have worse quarterback play, worse coaches. But when it comes to a real test, we fail. And ultimately, the main point of this call, guys, is we're not going to be able to take that next step until we can prove that we can compete with one of these big boy teams that are, looking to compete for the Super Bowl. Now, Buffalo, in my opinion, they're not the same team they were the past 2-3 years, the better Bills teams. But, man, it's like I need to see this team put up a fight against Green Bay or upset one of these teams coming down the stretch if we want to have a shot at, making the playoffs or breaking the losing streak of 7 years. Give me your thoughts, Anthony.
Keep pounding, bro. Tony, go first, man.
Well, I've been actually let's roll through a couple calls. We need some time. We got to make up some time here. Anthony, what what was the 7-year stretch or whatever? We got to break a lot of stretches. That's the key.
And can I just say this too, Tony, real quick? Right now we're sitting at 4-4. I feel like most Panther fans predicted us to be anywhere between a 7-win to a 9-win team at best.
I was been happy with both of those numbers.
And
so
correct me if I'm wrong, but we're probably on track to be just that. Correct?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to, what's going to, I mean, thankfully the Bryce Young injury is not like season debilitating. So one of the things when we were talking about the stats, right, is that he could be on track, but that also requires that the team has good games, or at least maybe if you had Andy Dalton in, I mean, because he had 99 yards because you're playing from behind, maybe that helps you, and you're not just trying to balance it. The Panthers have the Packers, the Saints, the Falcons, the 49ers. So I had them as if you had 9 wins. I mean, I know when like we were preseason, like every time you go through it, like, oh, you could win that, you could win that, you could win that. And then when I was like saying, oh, you could win that, like I said, damn, that's way too many wins. Because I was like, I'm not thinking that the Panthers are a 10, 11 win team. 9 to me would have been an incredible season. 7 would have been a good growth season. When you got into 5 and 6, I feel like we could make ways to, as it depended on how you got to 5 or 6 wins. Maybe you saw growth from Bryce, you saw defense improve, which we've seen so far. It seems like that I'd be okay with. I didn't think. I mean, in no way did I think the Panthers were gonna go Bills Packers wins and take it 2-0. I thought a split would be good, an 0-2 would be there. I think the problem when it comes to our overall record will continue to come back to that first stretch I mean, look, the Jags on the road, I picked them to win, but that was just because I love the Panthers. You know what I mean? Like you pick with your heart in the first week. Cardinals, man, that Cardinals game, you're going to come back and you're going to say that's the game that not only did you play terribly in the beginning of the game, but found an onside kick and at the end trying to get it. That's the one I think that's going to haunt the team the most. So we got 4 right now. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just knock the Panthers off as a loss with the Packers, right? And then say, can you win against the Saints? All right. At home against the Saints, maybe get a W there. It makes us 5. Are you sweeping the Falcons? I would conservatively say no, but I think you need to win that Falcons game if you really want a good record. So you could be you would be 5-5, and you can move to 6-5, or you can fall to 5-6 if you lost to the Falcons. Right now, I don't feel great about the 49ers on the road on Monday night. I mean, I'm thinking that's an L. So you got 1 win. Maybe we got 1 out of 3. So that moves you to 5. Rams, probably not winning that game. You could get maybe the Saints. What is that? 5, 6? I think we're at the 6, 7, like 6 to 8 range. I think 8 would be.
Dude, our
positive.
schedule gets fucking tough.
Kind of nasty. I mean, you're hoping
that
we maybe
play
you
Tampa,
find.
we play the Rams.
Maybe
Green
get the
Bay,
Bucks sitting everybody at the end.
Seattle.
The Saints game is paramount. Both Saints games, if you're looking for a record to be indicative of the Panthers team as like what to be happy about, you got to sweep the Saints. So that gets you to 6. And then you get that Falcons game. That would get you at 7. And maybe you can find a way, either the Bucks in the last week because they're resting people, or you somehow find a stunner over the Falcons. I won't say a stunner over the Falcons because we shut them out. But who knows? This is the thing. It's like, what do you really know about any of these teams half the time is that the Dolphins are the worst team against the run, and then they hold Bijan Robinson to 25 yards. Right, so we really don't know. I'm not betting on the Panthers to sweep the Falcons this year. We got to sweep the Saints, and
But dude, I
find
still
another
feel like we
win.
can beat the
Yeah.
Falcons. Like they're one of those teams that 1 week they'll beat Buffalo, and then the next week they're losing to the Dolphins. So they're also one of those teams where you just don't know what team is showing up, what team you're going to get on the day. It also depends if Michael Penix is healthy, because to me, Andy Dalton
he
and
just
Kirk
got sat.
Cousins.
He just got sat for
What I'll say is this: Andy Dalton and Kirk Cousins might as well be the same dude, in my opinion.
No, the Penix. Oh, you said Penix. I was thinking here. I'm sorry. The Saints guy. The Saints.
Oh, Spencer Rattler.
Rattler guy.
Yeah,
is
they benched
going
him
down.
for Tyler Shuck.
Right now, I think the Panthers are 8-win best, 6-win hopeful, 6 and 7-win hopeful, and maybe I'm being conservative. I don't think I'm really being conservative. I'd be. This would be a fun question. Is outside of the Saints at Panthers, will they be favored or even in any game? And that's the answer is no. I mean, and they're probably never going to be favored in it, but like, I don't even know if they'll be favored. Panthers at Saints, December 14th. I don't want to mess with. I don't want to play the Seahawks. Their defense, yucky. Look, I'm telling you, is that we're going to go back and regret. If you want to bet, if you want to measure the success of this season on wins and losses, it's going to come back to that Cardinals game. That win right now, you would be sitting at what? 6-4? 6-4, and you have an opportunity to maybe be a 9-win team.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We're still second place in the division.
This back end is worse, but I mean, worse than I expected, because the Seahawks are way better than anybody thought they were going to be. And the 49ers, somehow, Mac Jones, boring ass Mac Jones, somehow is really good with them. All right. The number's 252-228-5098.
I never thought in the 3 years that we had Bryce Young that I would say, sit this motherfucker Andy Dalton and bring this motherfucker back. Okay, listen.
JJ is a historic.
I owe Bryce Christopher Young an apology. Dog, you better than Andy Dalton.
Yes,
for the 4 wins. We already looking better than we did last year. But holy shit, Andy Dalton, what the fuck? I got it for the profanity. All right, got the intro for Showtime from Fort Myers. Bro, Andy Dalton, dog. Win. I get him, bro. I was hyping this man up all year.
You're cutting out, Lou.
He's coming back.
In my honest heart, in my belief, I think Bryce Young would have put up 20. I think Bryce Young would have put up 20. And that would have got our defense off the field a whole lot more. But, dog, I can't. People are like, 40-9. I'm like, dog, it's Buffalo. What you want me to say? Josh Allen. This man fucking won MVP last year. Like, come on, dog. It's the Buffalo Bills. But I will say I was just shocked that Andy Dalton just, threw nothing but pitch missiles all day. I was working, so thank God I didn't watch all of the game. And by the time I was able to watch some of the game, I didn't even want to watch it no more. What, garbage time? Dude, turn that shit off, bro. What the hell? But, yeah. This is an Everett defense when it comes to a good team. But, hey, Falcons lost, so I'm not hurting, bro. Love every single one of y'all. Lou from Fort Myers, and let's keep pounding, bro.
All right, Lou.
Let's keep pounding, Lou. Love you, bro.
Let's keep going with the calls.
What's up, C3? It's Kyle from Spartanburg. And, man, I was looking over that game tape, and I feel like the Bills only did 2 things. they either pitched the ball to the left, or they pitched the ball to the right, or they got Shakir on the little wide receiver screen and the ball was only thrown behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, they weren't doing anything fancy at all. They just gashed us the entire game. I mean, he was getting like 12 yards a pop on every single pitch. I mean, it was a rough watch being on the Green Bay. You know, they have 5 wins, we have 4. So I mean, it's not like we're 1-7 over here, but a lot of people are acting like we're 1-7.
They have a tie.
I think if Bryce Young comes back healthy and our defense can be somewhat competent, it can be a pretty competitive game. So let's hope for the best. But with the trade deadline coming up and that kind of stuff, is there any positions that you guys feel like the Panthers could try to bolster up for a playoff push? Like if y'all were to add a player to a position, who would it be?
This is great.
And what position?
Thank you.
All right, guys, have a good show.
Do you feel like you're a
Appreciate you,
buyer?
brother. I mean, no, but I do have my dream trade. I know who it is. I know who I want it to be. I know it's not likely to happen, but I would love for it to happen. That's Alex Highsmith from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's an outside linebacker. He's a really good edge rusher. He went to UNC Charlotte, grew up a Panthers fan, and the dude's been a beast. I believe the year before Brian Burns left Carolina, if I'm right on that timetable, he had like 14 and a half sacks in one season. Now the Steelers have also drafted Nick Herbig, who's also been a really good edge rusher for them. So I don't think they would really even necessarily miss him that much. However, yeah, I just don't know if we're going to be buyers in this market. But if there was a player that I would want, that's him.
This is going to make everybody mad. I mean, I'm not a buyer. First of all, I'm not a buyer.
You're selling.
Well, no, if anything, I'm standing pat with the team. Standing pat. I hate to say it because he's my favorite player right now on the team, and that's Rico Dowdle. Like, if somebody would give us more than they should, like, you know what I'm saying, for Rico, I just don't think, look, we just looked at this schedule and said, or at least I said, that this is an 8-win team. You know, you got the Bucks are 6-2 right now. You don't think? I mean, they're winning the division. If they could back it, they could take a nap and win the division. And the way I think about it with Rico is like, in a perfect world, I want him on this team going forward. I think that, like, if you can, I mean, find a way and it doesn't debilitate you. But I've said this when we came back to Brian Burns or wherever, we always get in these negotiations where they punted too long, is if you know in your heart that it's a long shot to keep that player, and you're probably not. I would say this is the Panthers should not be buyers. They should not be buyers unless they're going to. And when I say if they are buying, maybe they're trying to find somebody that is cheap, that has another year on their contract. I cannot see a situation where adding players to this team truly changes the trajectory of the team beyond a couple of weeks. That's it. Beyond a couple of weeks.
If somebody does come knocking for Rico, are you turning them down? Well, let's just say.
Well, how about this? Let me ask you. Maybe another thing is, if somebody said we'll give you a third for Rico, would you?
Yeah, that's what I was going to pose to you.
Like, is it a third? I think like I've always said when it comes to the draft that like anything outside the third is kind of like bleh. Maybe you can make an argument for the fourth, but I don't give a fuck about. I'd rather have Rico than get a fifth or a sixth. Or even a fourth. I'd rather just have them for
that's what I'm saying.
Not cry.
Like, dude, it has to be a third or higher.
Yeah.
In order for us to even entertain it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Panther Girl says, why trade Rico? We can't have anything nice. And Tony, listen, it's also colored by the fact that we have traded away so many good players who have gone on to do really good things in other places. Yeah, right. I understand. But the fact that he is a Carolina guy, born in North Carolina, went to high school, North Carolina, played for the Gamecocks, who David Tepper is now linked with by his millions of dollars. And we love signing Gamecocks. So I just,
But none of that matters if you don't sign him beyond this season. So, like, look, is that if it's nothing, like, again, like we said, is like, to me, the pivot point is a third. I mean, I'm sure the draft heads could somehow give me statistics of why a fourth is a valuable, right? So if someone offered you a third round pick for Rico Dowdle right now, it would hurt. It would sting. Like, I mean, it's like, hey, Panther fans, you can't have nice things. You can't have any fun. The one person that's playing great on your team at all, like all season, you got to get rid of them. But if I just sat down with Dan Morgan in a room where there's no cameras or anything and said, look, do you really believe that you can and will, without debilitating the salary cap or some shit, or overpaying, and not overpay, I don't even know if that's the right term. Is it going to happen? That was the thing with Brian Burns is like, if you're not going to sign the mug anyway, then so I wish that Rico Dowdle was the guy that we signed the contract to last year. I truly do. I don't know if there's anybody else though that first, I'm not selling any of the guys that are staples under serious contract with this team, right? As you paid JC Horn, not signing him away. I mean, he's a great player, paid him a good amount, deserved amount, not trading. Like, what asset do you have that could bring you something? How about this? My answer is I don't think the Panthers should be buyers. That's it. My answer to this question is the Panthers. I have no reason to believe that adding Drugger or Duggar or whoever got traded today from the yeah. Like, is that really going to make?
Was that who it was?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the guy.
It's like Jerry Jones took some flack about this. Was like, we're not one piece away on defense. Like, this season is not our season. And what I mean by that is this season can be our season if it's measured by growth, by the team progressing, by Dave Canales growing as a coach, by Bryce Young coming back, hopefully. I know he's coming back because it's not a serious injury. But, like, you just getting better, building continuity, building strength, fighting through adversity, and then next year, positioning yourself. I'm not a buyer this year, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said my thoughts. Right. It would have to be a good offer if we're going to trade Rico.
And I'm not necessarily a seller either, but you do have to look at whose contracts are expiring that you will not buy, like, that you just don't plan or don't foresee being a part of the Panthers' future. And for instance, when I say not being a part of the Panthers' future, I don't say that you don't want Rico Dowdle to be part of the Panthers' future. Don't get me wrong on that. Is that you want that. But, man, are you willing, like, when you crunch the numbers, are you really going to pull the trigger? And if in your heart you think no, then just admit it. But I hope they find a way to get it done and they push it around, because to me, he's my guy. Like, he's good. He's freaking good, dude. He is awesome, man. He is a great player.
A conspiracy theorist might say, Tony, that now that Canales is making him number one, that maybe this is an opportunity to kind of present him to the market.
Well, they should have done it last week.
Yeah.
They should. You know what? If them conspiracy theorists, they were slow playing that hand. Let's go to the next call. The number is 252-228-5098.
Panther Nation. What's good? It's your boy Preston from Hickory. And look, I ain't got too much on the damn game from Sunday. They whooped our ass. I don't know if you really got a few things, and pretty much everybody hit on it. Number one, Rico should be our fucking starter. period. And two, man, if I never see Andy Dalton start another game again, I mean, I'll be a blessed man. I mean, goodness gracious. He made me realize how harsh we've all been on Bryce sometimes, because Bryce, I don't think he's ever looked that bad. Jesus. I mean, even though he still made some plays. But, hey, it's that time of the week. On to the next. Green Bay Packers. Now, look, this is another really good team. We knew this stretch of the season was coming. We knew these teams were coming. Now we got to go up to Lambeau to play, I mean, a damn good team, like overall team. Oh, boy. Hopefully Dave Canales fixes what the hell he needs to as far as starting fucking Rico. Start Rico, man. Like, just put the guy out there. Let Chuba come in to relieve him. Make Chuba the third down back if you need to. Rico has earned it. He really has. I mean, honestly, we signed the wrong guy to a 4-year contract, honestly. And I like Chuba. I'm not hating. I like Chuba. But, geez, man, we got to find a way to lock that guy down for the foreseeable future. Defense, I think the defense will have a better outing. I think we'll have a better showing this week against Green Bay. I know their offense is pretty good, but I think our defense got embarrassed last week, especially at home. So I think we can turn it around. I'm not going to predict a win because I think we got humbled and we're on the road against a really good team. But hopefully we can turn it around to at least make it competitive. That's all this week, boys. Hey, keep pounding and like, share, subscribe. Best Damn Panthers podcast on the entire internet.
Yay!
Mother loving pound.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. I do think that this is an opportunity for us now that we're being so slept on. I do think that this is an opportunity for us to prove some people wrong. I think the best Panthers team is a slept on Panthers team. And I do think we can be competitive. Like, there's no reason for us to continuously get blown out by these teams.
Well, I think that is exaggerative is that you're blown out without your starting quarterback. I still think there was fight in this team in that first half, and I don't know. I think going on the road is going to be tough against. I mean, I don't expect it to be an easier task than this week was for the Panthers. Let's just put it that way. The number is 252-228-5098. Let's go to the Hope Dealer.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Lack, the C3 Legion. What up, everybody? This the Hope Dealer checking in real quick. Hey, guys. So we have a plan, and we want to stick with our plan, and we want to stick to the process, even if it's not working. That's Dave Canales.
Yeah, it is.
What happens when your plan or your process and something is not working? What I see is there's a coach in Dave Canales that has a stubborn insanity to stick with a process that doesn't work. And I hate that. Listening to him in these post-game interviews talking about his plan and his process and not changing things up. But hey, just a couple quick points and questions. So I was thinking, y'all, as a process, why not rest Chuba for the rest of the year and roll with Rico and ETN? Like I said last week, playing Rico it really protects our long-term 4-year investment we got on Chuba Hubbard. Because the way I look at it, when I look at Chuba, he's running like he's still hurt. But anyway, man, just a quick question. So could it be, this is hypothetical, but could it be that the reason we didn't see Hendon Hooker is because Dan and Dave Tepper, they don't want a quarterback controversy in Carolina?
Oh,
like maybe they feel like if they add Hooker into the mix, it might have the same kind of effect that Baker and Sam Darnold had. I'm just saying, if it's about evaluating Bryce, they might feel like Hooker might mess it up somehow. But anyway, y'all, it's the Hope Dealer. Much love. Keep pounding.
I can't believe that's where it would go. That mug would come if he would have to come out and deal. Now he is like 28 years old. He is a veteran.
Chuba.
No, Hendon Hooker.
Oh, yeah, dude, I keep on forgetting that Hendon Hooker is like.
He came out when he was 25 or something
The
like
dude's
that.
got the AARP
He
card
was
at this point.
no stop. I like him, man. He played on
I do
Tennessee.
too.
Like he
Dude,
beat Alabama when
People
Bryce was
forget
there.
that at once upon a time, Hendon Hooker was a Heisman. Like he was in the Heisman consideration.
Good.
When
He was a good
playing.
player.
The dude can chuck it, man. Like no one's denying that. I
He
don't
can
know how
chuck it
many.
better. Well, I mean, he got to be better than Andy Dalton.
Who did he play for? The Lions. That's who he came
Yeah,
from.
well, he never got any time there.
Yeah, never got any time. Never got an
coming out of
opportunity.
college.
But
Then they went with Goff. They kind of thought this, I think, and I mean, I'm not a Lions expert in their GM plan, but they went and got Goff in that trade with Stafford, and then they drafted Hendon Hooker, and then all of a sudden Goff was like, "You see my girlfriend? I'm gonna show y'all." And he went and became a great quarterback, or a very, very good quarterback. I think that there is something to be said that's another thing to think about too, is even if you're not going to trade Rico Dowdle and you also have concerns about potentially being able to bring him back financially, is there may be something to preserving the legs of Chuba Hubbard there. Other than that is, I mean, there might be something to that. And then you get a little excitement. I don't know, man. Andy Dalton is, I knew it. Oh, I won't say I knew it because I don't know anything. I just look at the TV and make my eyeball assessment as an armchair podcaster, quarterback, whatever you want to call it. He looked terrible in those preseason games. I was like, man, Andy Dalton aged like 30 years in the last 2 years.
yeah, man.
So
Like
let's just put Hendon Hooker in. I'll be
cliff.
okay with that. It's like,
But
it's
do you
not
think the Panthers would do that though? Because I don't. Like, I just don't think Hendon Hooker has been here long enough for them to feel comfortable and giving him the reins to start against the Green Bay
what's
Packers.
the problem? I mean, you feel good about what happened last week. I do want to say this about the call. That stubbornness that he talked about with the coaching staff. And I don't think it's the coaching staff, our coaching staff specifically. I think it's just kind of an irony to the whole thing, is that the NFL and I'm sure this is with any sport, is really a cold, calculated business. Like, I mean, they walk in there and cut somebody that's been a lifelong person. I mean, you think about what happened with Steve Smith and how he's like taking the radio. I mean, like, it's a cold. I have my, and I know everybody's like, oh, this dude. But I'm Italian. My family's Italian immigrants. So the cold cuts are a big deal. Like, we have cold cuts. We have the turkey. Like, they just put cold cuts out everywhere. Come over at our house. We got a guest. We get the cold cuts out. Get the cold. So I had my grandma every time we have a segment at the beginning of the season when they're cutting a roster. Is one time I called my grandmother live, my Nona, and I said, can you say cold cuts for me? I said, or something. I said, what's a cold cut? But it is such a cold, like, they make these boom, boom, see you later. And to me, the irony is like, oh, we don't make cold cuts. We got to preserve his with Chuba. It's like, oh, well, we got to make sure we honor him and respect him. I think there's an irony there where it's like you could be so cold, calculated, and businesslike, but then in some cases you're like, we care. I wonder why. What is the moment that it becomes a boar's head cold cut? Let's go to the next call.
Good evening, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. Greetings from beautiful Idaho. Just wanted to check in. I will catch the show tonight. I called in last week and I was asking. The writing was on the wall to me. Dalton's cooked, and I posed out there. How long of a leash do we give him? Is it 7 points, 10 points, 14 points? I didn't know it was going to be 31 points, and then we're still going to leave that motherfucker in just to hand the ball off to Chuba Hubbard down by 31 with 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. But I'm posing it to you guys again because Cody answered my question with how important the game this was for Bryce, which shows me he's probably running for political office and practicing dodging questions. He did a great job at that. So I want to ask you guys, what going forward? Dalton's still our backup quarterback, man, on the depth chart. So does that mean is he going to have a tighter leash, or are we just going to roll with him in second position? I want to get your thoughts on it. Pretty bad, man. Pretty bad. But big game this week. If we can hang tough with Green Bay, even if there's a loss there, but take a moral victory there, I think we're still on our way to 7 or 8 wins, which, I mean, that's the promised land compared to the last decade of this trash. Ugh. Anyway, next year is going to be pretty good. I have a feeling. Keep pounding, boys. Love what you do.
Keep pounding. Always next year, Tony. I do think that this team, no matter who the quarterback is, we're completely dependent on pounding the rock, especially when you consider the injuries to the offensive line. Like, no matter what, we have to run the football. There's no other way around it. You know, I would love, as we already mentioned, if Bryce can't go, I would love to give Hendon Hooker a shot. But I'm also a realist, and I just do not think there's a realistic timeline of events where that happens. So, no, I don't think that that's going to happen. I would love for Bryce to be able to go. And to be honest, like, all the reports were that Bryce wanted to go. He wanted to play. He felt healthy enough to play, but they decided to hold him out. I think Bryce does want to play. I think he will do everything in his power to try and practice this week. And I think that he should play. I mean, dude, let's be real, Tony. The reality of playing quarterback in the NFL is you aren't going to play banged up. Like, that's just the nature of being a football player. You know what I mean? So if he can play in any shape or form, in any
maybe
capacity,
to his detriment.
Yeah, but like, dude, that's what you do. You're the quarterback of the team. Like, but here,
that's what his mindset should
here's
be.
why I
That's
say
what
that.
he does. But if you are the GM, the coach, and this is your have to be thinking beyond just week one, like not week one, this week. You know, like, I mean, yes, every war, like these guys are like they're fighting, and like you want that warrior mentality, but you got to protect them from themselves. You don't put them
but
in
I mean,
just
dude, like, what?
Just get a short-term victory. I love this. Is how the chat is all into cold cut talk, the capicola, the gabagool. That's the new. That's the
It's your
newest
fault.
slang, the
But my
gabagool.
thing is this, though, Tony. It's like these are the games that matter. We're in the middle of the season. We're second place in the division. Like, we really can't afford to lose many more games and still be relevant in this division, for as bad as things might be.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I mean, I don't think that you. And I know I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy on this. It's like I like that the Panthers have got a chance, but like the Bucks are running away.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really? I mean, look at the back end of the season. I would not want us to prioritize short-term games for long-term opportunities.
They did look human against the Detroit Lions, who largely ran the football.
Who?
Tampa Bay.
The fucking Lions are like the most incredible team out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I mean, like they don't look human. Yeah, they kind of look human. Yeah, they are kind of human, but it doesn't matter if they're kind of human. And they're 6-2. They're already.
I'm just saying they
would have to. Like, we'll look up their schedule. Let's see. Hopefully,
ran
maybe
the ball at Tampa Bay. That's why they were successful. Yeah, they were able to throw some passes, but that's kind of what I'm saying. You run the ball. You run the ball enough to take your selective shots to move the ball downfield.
Okay, so I guess they got the Patriots, they got the Bills. Oh, they got a tough schedule too. You know what is we probably could make this decision of what to do after. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the trade like is no. It's tough. They got they're hosting the Pats. and they're on the road against the Bills. I think the Bucks maybe split those games. Then they got the Rams, Cardinals, Saints, Falcons. They got a back end. They got a soft back end, dude. You're not catching the Bucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're
it's not about how
point.
many games. The Panthers could win 4 more games. I think the Bucks still have, a better record than the Panthers, which then means you're trying to fight for a wild card, which is probably happen.
Let me throw this up. The Panthers are still in the hunt right now. Where
they are right now.
Yes, okay, but this is my point, though, Tony. All these games matter. Like, yeah, Bryce might be hurt, but unless it's like his leg just can't plant to throw the football, bro, it's time to play, man. It's time to get out there and ball.
Okay.
If you can get out there and ball, that's all I'm saying, dude.
I never thought we were a playoff team this year.
No. Hey, real quick. Do you have a call ending in 0430? That's our man D Money.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, would you
go
play that
to it
for
right
us?
now?
What's going on, family? D, time for North Carolina. Hey, shout out to the great Tony Dunn, to my homie Cody Lack, BK Code Dizzle, to the Blue and Black Attack, Old Panther Pickle, and these here skills.
Yes, sir.
Cody, I want you to know I ain't got nothing but love for you, bro.
Love you, brother.
You've been with me since day one of stepping into this. We've had some very deep conversations. We've had some emotional conversations. We've had some of the realest conversations. And the one thing that I'm going to say is I can stand by my mans. I don't have no inkling, no feeling, or no thought of this man being racist in any form or fashion.
Appreciate you,
Now
brother.
that I
Thank
got
you,
that
man.
out the way, even though I do love you, Cody, from the bottom of my heart, I really do. I want you to know that. We're 4-4, man. I don't even care about last week. We can talk the stats. We can talk that. But I'm a faith guy. I really am. And when we're looking at it, pretty much the halfway point of the season, the majority of y'all's bingo card didn't even have us at 4 wins. Heck, my man Cody, you know I love you. You had us at 4 wins.
4 wins total, bro.
Balls, man. It's just what it is. Everybody
Yeah,
got their
man.
right to feel how they feel. But it was just a game, man, where like we was never in a position to win. I felt like the defense wasn't in the great position to play defense because of turnovers and so forth. And our defense got handled. I mean, you want complimentary football with three phases of the game. And, well, we didn't get it in all 3 phases, and it showed. And we're a team that we've got to be complimentary on all 3 phases. Enough said. We took a bad loss to New England and then went on a streak. All right? You know, it's not one of those things where the sky is falling, people. There's a good chance because now we're going to learn. We got guys hurt in different areas. We're going to see who's got that fight. And even though that playoffs, people can taste that, the goal was to be better. And we're getting better. And now there's got an opportunity for somebody else to step up and be better. I believe in this squad. And I believe that we're about to go into Lambeau and get a victory. You can call me crazy, you can call me delusional. I don't care. You got 53 guys who was just embarrassed. They were just embarrassed at home.
Yeah, man.
They're going to come back and they're going to fight. And I believe that with all my heart. If you ain't with us now, you ain't welcome to the street. Cody, I love you.
Love you, brother. Keep. And he might get cut off. Keep pounding. Appreciate you, bro. Look, man, that's why we love dude. He's an optimist, man. And look, Tony, like, you know, the reason I love football, why so many of us love football, is because it doesn't last forever. This is not a year-round sport. The season's not very long. When you only have 17 games, they all mean more, right? And we have seen crazier things happen. We've seen a 9-7 New York Giants team go on to win Super Bowl. You know, it's an any given Sunday type of league. And we are 4-4 right now. We're at 500. and we have some division games coming up. We have a bunch of opportunities for us to present ourselves as a competitive football team. And we need fans like him and like the Hope Dealer, like Diesel Skills, to continue to put that best foot forward and say that we can go out there and get some W's, man. Like, we still have to play Atlanta. We still have to play the Saints twice. I think that we can win all 3 of those games. It just depends on what Panthers team shows up. And I will say that whenever this team has lost this year, we have responded. We are a resilient football team. That is something that you cannot take away from us.
I I certainly want the Panthers to respond. I want them to, and I do expect, I even don't think that these guys gave up on the field this past week. Big plays, some big problems. To me, again, this Buffalo Bills loss was not as bad to me as the New England loss. Just kind of for our, where we were. The Panthers are trying to figure out if they could be good. I think they have enough belief in themselves or can have it. You can go out there and win this game in Green Bay. I'm not betting on it. Not betting on it, but every given Sunday, if they win this game in Green Bay, it could change the trajectory, though, of the season. Then I might start thinking wild card for them. And I just don't want them to, or to your point about go out there. It's I don't feel like this is a must win for how I feel about the team. I hope that they do respond and give a competitive game. I don't know if that answer comes with Andy Dalton.
No.
And I feel rude for saying that, because person or whatever, but I just don't want to rush Bryce back for a loss that could happen even if he was there. But if he's close and he can go and he can play, then you better, you got to go try to win every down, every game. Let's go to Mike, my boy, Supreme Leader.
My brother.
What it do, boys? It's your boy, Mike.
What up, Mike?
Excuse me. Hey, Supreme Leaders. My guys, how's it going? Man, this week,
pretty crazy.
Me personally, I think we're going to get our booties blown out by the Green Bay Packers, which is a lot of injuries, man. It's looking kind of sketchy. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to watch either way. Hey, man, I just want to say, love you guys. Man, it's cool seeing Kev, Tony. That was a vibe. I've hung out with Cody and Greg. That was a vibe. I've met CK. I didn't get to hang out with him. I've got a drone flying over his house, though. I know what color underwear he wears. All good. But yeah, man, you guys are the best. You know that. And,
appreciate you, brother.
Had a great time with him and his wife.
Haters say, we're gonna keep pounding. Love you, boys. Love you, Secret Nation. Hold it down.
Love you, Mike.
Good people, man. Good people hung out.
Bro, you see people who know us and get to meet us and have been a part of this community. They know who we are, bro. We don't need to explain.
I want to learn who they are. And I want to learn how. Not who are you as I need to judge you up, but I went to Kev's wedding, and it was just a fun time. You know what I mean? It's I love this dude. He's given so much to me. He's my friend. I've met him in person just twice through this podcast, but I got to be a part of this important period in their life. It was beautiful. Beautiful experience there. And just a note for this is the flower girl and the ring bearer, the dopest looking cats in the whole history of the world. These bugs were Dang.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures you took. My man Kev was looking slick, bro.
No, but they're little. They got almost got the show stolen by that ring bearer and the flower girl. She was so beautiful, like this little. She looked like a princess, and then she was you could tell she was nervous. The whole crowd was cheering for her. It was fun. They had a beautiful wedding. They really put it on for everybody, and they were such gracious hosts. But then hanging out with Mike and his wife Sahara, we had fun. I mean, it's just fun time. And as Mike came up and he said, I've known Mike through the podcast, right? Like, I mean, I know him through talking on the internet and calling into the show. He's like, hey, it's Mike Supreme Lita. I was like, oh, hell yeah. It was fun. We went and had a great night. Partied afterwards, and it's just good. It was a good people, good time, and a beautiful family. I wish the best, not to wish the best. Like, man, look, Kev is a great dude. He's a good dude. Kevin, proud. I'm thankful that you invited me. And it was just fun. Tell me if we played this one, because I think this is the one I may have skipped off of to get the one that we called for earlier. See if we've heard this one.
What's up, y'all? It's Lucas from Forest City.
What's up, Luke?
Just want to talk about this team real quick. I see a lot of people talking trash about Dave Canales and this whole football team. I just want to tell the Panther Nation and all our fans, don't give up on this team, y'all.
No,
Last
there's no
week
need
we
to.
were 4-3 for the first time in years with a winning record in the middle of the season. We haven't had a winning record in God knows how long. This is the first time in a long time I've had hope in my football team, y'all. Just because we lost to Buffalo, who is one of the best teams in NFL, without our starting quarterback, doesn't mean that we can't go up to Green Bay with our starting quarterback and whoop their butts. So have faith in this team, y'all, and keep pounding.
Cody,
Don't give up on them.
Good chance.
Keep pounding.
Good chance for us. Let's jump back into the show. Let's jump to Know Our Foe, since we're talking about. Just go ahead and get to that while we're at it. The Panthers are on the road in the toughest stretch. Now they're going to Green Bay. And the Packers are a really good team. They're kind of like a boring team in a way. It was like that boring, great team. There was this weird stat at the beginning of October, the second week of October, that they had a winning record but hadn't won a game in over a month, when they were like, because they had a tie and a bye. And they, like, the time period, it was so wild. But they're good all around. And then they added Micah Parsons. Then you're going to one of the most, I won't say hostile, most difficult environments probably to play in the league. The home team advantage reigns true there. The Panthers are coming off a beatdown against Buffalo, but playing a team that's arguably as good, if not better. And you got to watch out for this tight end, right, Cody?
Yeah, man. And this past Sunday was National Tight End Day.
Oh, and they all scored. Every single tight end in the league, it felt like, was scoring, except for Kincaid, I guess, and our tight ends.
Yeah, it's fun. Tucker Kraft, his head. Whenever a tight end is the team's leading receiver, the offense typically doesn't have a top wideout option, or the scheme is built on checkdowns. However, the Packers have good wideouts, including Christian Watson, who returned this week. They have a scheme that is happy to push the ball downfield. And Tucker Kraft is still Green Bay's leading man. He can do it all, from the middle of the field to deep passes, working whenever he's needed at any given time. The third-year tight end has 30 receptions for 469 yards, which leads the Packers by a wide margin. And this is the third highest in the NFL amongst tight ends, trailing Travis Kelce by a mere 5 yards. Kraft is also Jordan Love's favorite red zone target. He's got 6 receiving touchdowns. The rest of the team has a combined 7. Tony, did you know that Tucker Kraft grew up on an Indian reservation?
Oh,
And,
wow.
and
No, I didn't know.
he is an honorary part of whatever tribe in the reservation that he grew up on.
Is he honorary or is he actually?
Yeah, he went to high school. So he's honorary. He went to high school and he lived on the Indian reservation. So they made him an honorary part of the tribe. The dude's a beast, man. Like, if you watch that game, you saw how much he means to that defense. So Tony,
speaking of tight ends,
your offense
is we got a good tight end too.
Yeah, man.
This rookie, man, has been pretty
Mitch
damn
Evans.
good.
Dude, Mitch Evans is a beast, bro.
I
He's
know,
a beast.
man.
But so real quick though, you know how we were doing this thing at the start of the season where when Ohio State wins the championship and when we start with
and J-Lo gets divorced.
All these different things that said that the Panthers are going to win the Super Bowl. So every Packer quarterback that has won a Super Bowl has won it when they turn 27 years old, from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love turns 27 this year.
Oh my goodness, they got some
people.
Did Mercedes? I bet you Mercedes Lewis played for the damn Packers at some point.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Chat,
I feel like it does.
I swore he did.
I swear. I mean, it feels like that would be. And we just heard about his comeback potentially with the Broncos. Micah Parsons is a problem and could be a problem for the Carolina Panthers. The Packers made one of the biggest moves. This is, by the way, credit Panthers.com. The Packers made one of the biggest moves of the NFL season when they traded for pass rusher Micah Parsons. The former Dallas Cowboys star has come as advertised. He has 6.5 sacks and 44 quarterback pressures, which leads the league amongst all front seven members. And do you guys also remember he started the season? This is not written by them. This is me speaking. Is that he came in, they made that big trade. He's like, oh, back injury. They gave him a shot. He was taking off practice and they came in. This dude, I mean, he is better than I even believed he was. Everything on the Packers, they write on Panthers.com, everything on the Packers defense goes through Parsons. The secondary's time to cover is drastically reduced due to his getting to the quarterback so quickly. If he's not breaking the pocket, it's because he's likely getting double teamed. Parsons faces the second most double teams, 22.4% of his snaps of all edge rushers in the NFL. When that happens, it opens up lanes for Rashawn Gary. Ooh, another big name that's kind of been quietly forgotten about, who actually leads Green Bay with 7.5 sacks. Gary and Parsons are 5th and 6th, respectively, in the NFL in total sacks, and the most duo of any team through the first half of the season. The Panthers got a tough row to hoe. Boy, the Parsons problem sounds.
I mean,
sounds like a Netflix documentary in the making.
Yeah, it sounds like a scientific equation.
Yeah,
the Parsons problem. And it is a problem. But dude, he is the problem. Like, I believe 2 games ago, he had 3 sacks in the game, which was the most of his career. I mean, Packers fans are calling him the new Reggie White. Reggie White, I forget what team Reggie originally played for, but then he went to the Packers and became a Hall of Famer for the Packers. Michael Parsons.
What about Myles Garrett having 5 sacks in a game?
Oh, I want to make a prediction about him. I think in a year, Myles Garrett will be a Dallas Cowboy.
Oh, I like it. All right, what do we next need to know?
Just to put a bow on that, though, like, this is what's scary about this game. And I mentioned it earlier in our earlier slide. When you have this many offensive linemen that are questionable and doubtful, we don't know about Cade Mays. Austin Corbett's back under center.
And then Hooker.
That didn't look good when we saw it. To me, this is worrisome, man. This is why some media people.
This is why I'm saying it. Some media. I'm not media. I'm just this dude sitting right here. I don't need any. There's nothing to prove, nothing to win here.
So don't play Bryce. You don't think Bryce should play?
Yeah, I don't think you do unless he was like so good and just like just straight. If he wakes up his ankle a little hurt. I mean, like Hendon Hooker.
Think of it this way. Imagine with all these things against us, imagine if we fucked around and won and Bryce Young is the quarterback. Like, we're going to be talking about his fifth-year option real soon. We already are. Like, this could be one of those career-defining games if he actually managed to go out and have a good performance. Like, it's games like this on the road in a cold weather stadium against a damn good football team where you make your money. So I hope he plays, man. I really do. I hope he plays.
But how about this? If he plays and he gets it and he does all those things, imagine what that would do. You would be like, oh, Bryce, you would be on the Bryce train.
But dude, I want to be on the Bryce train.
Yeah.
But
this is the type of game in the atmosphere that
I need
over
Bryce
the hill
to write me a personalized invitation.
And I've pushed this mug over a speed bump before.
Yes, dear Cody Lack, I have made a handicap accessible ramp for you to join the Bryce Young train. Please get on and be a part of what I'm cooking over here with the Panthers, dude. I need it.
The tundra in Green Bay, we got to really pound them to build that ramp. Oh, yeah, a lot of work.
Remember how we were saying build that wall,
build that
ramp, build that ramp. So now we go to a love story. Ooh, it is almost 12. Every good love story needs a leading Romeo. Sorry, not sorry. The Packers have that connection with Jordan Love and Romeo Dobbs, the quarterback and wideout, connected back in the 2022 offseason after Dobbs was drafted. After that, the chemistry began to take over games in 2023 when Love became the full-time starter. While Kraft is the leading receiver, Dowds is Love's favorite wideout. The two have connected for 27 receptions for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns this season.
Big boy, not as big as Tet. See you later. Oh, and what are the odds of this game right here? I think that's what we got next. Let me see.
Yeah, the odds.
Right now, the Panthers are 12.5-point dogs on the road. 8 points at home against Buffalo. 12.5 on the road against the Packers. Cody, we can make our picks right here, right now.
I think you have another one. I think you have some.
Oh yeah, but these are some player. These are player props. I had some. I can read them off too. I put them in the drive. I didn't have time. We still have we have 3 more calls to go. I'm picking the Packers. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's roll through the calls and then we'll make our picks.
All right.
Hey guys, it's the girl that makes them know, aka Joey the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I debated whether or not I wanted to call in with this. It's about the Sheena thing, and I, as a blind person, want to bring this up. Sheena, last time, you're dead ass wrong. Okay? That man,
and he can see
his passion about the Panthers, or his passion for the Panthers, is possibly more than anyone I know. You know, whether I met them in person or not. And I know she's not listening to it, but on the off chance that she is, because the haters are always the biggest fans. We always know this. But, you know, I'm the guy who
doesn't see
pretty
color.
much taught himself everything
Tony,
I know about football by watching the Panthers. Okay? I'm the guy who, when I got my cochlear implant back in 2017, and I had to plug up my right ear so that my brain could get used to the way my cochlear implant sounded, I'm the guy that would watch entire quarters of Panthers games with just my implant. And the first thing that I was able to pick up and actually understand word for word with my cochlear implant alone was Carolina Panthers football. back when Nick Mixon was calling the games.
That's a great story.
So Sheena and Vashti. Sheena did most of the talking, but Vashti was in there too. Both of these women are dead wrong for that. And they really should know better as minorities and as females in the sports landscape. They really should know better than to do that. And they definitely both need to come on this podcast and apologize. They definitely need to do some soul searching, and they definitely need to make that right, because they have a way bigger platform than we do here. I mean, they're credentialed. So, yeah, they really need to do some damage control quick. No pun intended. Anyway, guys.
Oh, I saw that.
But I also said, I made a very well-timed joke, but you didn't hear it because you had your headphones on. You would have found it funny. I also just want to clarify, me personally, I'm not even demanding an apology from anyone.
Oh,
I just felt like when,
yeah,
exactly. When somebody makes false accusations about my character and about who I am as a person, there's no way that I'm not going to defend myself and say something about it. And yeah, I did feel like it was wrong for them to use their platform and all the media love that they have from Panther Nation to spread that about us. So again, I'm not trying to dwell too long on it. I'm not trying to make it some long, drawn out beef either. Ultimately, I do have a ton of respect for what Sheena and Vashti both do covering this team. And I'm not somebody who wants to hold grudges. I believe life is too short, and I personally think everybody should figure out how to get along and move forward. But I do appreciate everybody that has been complimentary to me and having my back during this whole thing. So I definitely appreciate you all, man. Shout out Joey, my fellow disabled brethren. Love you, bro.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. AP, rewind the show, brother.
What's going on, everybody?
We addressed it all.
This is my boy.
TV. Whenever you come in here, can you please hit the like button?
Start of the show.
Can you please subscribe to the great content? The
Yes,
C3
sir.
Podcast is the longest running Panthers podcast on YouTube. 13, 14 years going strong. I've been fucking with them, I know at least 8, 9 years strong myself. But real quick, man, this past game, so fucking disappointing watching Andy Dalton. Why the fuck is Andy Dalton fucking playing? Just play a younger player. Just play Hendon Hooker. Like, come on, man.
I love C Dalton
the fuck
so
off
much.
With that shit.
One of my
And
favorite
then
people on the
Hooker didn't
internet.
play the whole fucking game. Not even fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, the game is over. Put Hendon Hooker out there just in case Bryce can't go the following week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very
Get him some
disappointed about
reps.
that.
Get him warm up.
Now let me get to the fucking Rico, this fucking Rico charge.
Organized crime.
Man, why the fuck? Look, Rico is just fucking better than Chuba. I don't give a fuck if they fucking trade Chuba. I don't give a fuck what they do with Chuba at this point.
This is how most
Put a
Panther
motherfucking
fans
bench.
feel now, Tom.
But Chuba was the third down running back when we drafted him. He's just not no ground and pound back, man. He's just not, man. He's all right. He's a third down back, but Rico was better. Going forward, Rico better be fucking starting the rest of the fucking year, period. If not, Canales can go with fucking Bryce Young. With Evero, Canales, Bryce Young can all fucking go together. Because, man, all we need is a competent coach and a fucking quarterback. We'll be just fine. And real quick, just seen a quick shit. I don't really know what the quick thing was. Okay, I got in here. I came in just as I was talking about Center Quick, but I did DM her, you know what I'm saying, telling her that we need to resolve this with her and Cody and everything. And if I ever run into her this season in Tampa Bay, the last game of the season, or down here in Atlanta, I will let her know that the C3 Podcast is the longest running Panthers podcast on YouTube.
Hey.
For all Panthers fans.
My
And,
dog.
So good.
all Panthers fans' opinions. This is a safe place for it. Well, I hope we
He's
can
my
get that
man.
resolved.
This is my dude right here.
With that being said, and real quick, man, I was disappointed in this run defense, man.
He's coming back.
Like,
We got you.
man, Everett be pissing me the fuck off, man. You
Don't worry. I got you a second
everybody
call.
have a great fucking week, and everybody keep fucking pounding, man.
He's coming back.
pounding,
He's coming
C-Dog.
back. Let's get
My
it.
dog.
It's brand
It's
ambassador.
me, C-Dog 1983 TV. But real quick, man, I just wanted to bring this up. I forgot about this. I'm sorry about calling in 2 times.
Nah, man.
Man,
Yeah.
I am tired of seeing Nick Scott fucking play.
Me too, bro.
It's fucking tackles. The first game of the fucking season.
He's good from
goddamn
weeks
ETN
4 to
had that long
6.
ass touchdown run on us in Jacksonville. I was there. His ass missed the goddamn tackle. He always missing fucking tackles. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Just put somebody else in there. Play the Marty Richardson. Play goddamn Lathan Ransom. Something. Like, I'm tired of seeing this motherfucker in the fucking game, man. You know? Then y'all went and got goddamn Trevor Morrig, and you always got him in the fucking box. You know? Like, man. Hey, man. Everyone can pack his shit and get the fuck up out of here, man. Like, I'm so tired of this shit, man. Like, there's no fucking way we should have gave up 200 fucking yards, man, to the fucking Bills. It's no fucking way, man. It's no fucking way that he always got them going out there with his bullshit, his goddamn version of the goddamn defense. Man, just play a regular 3-4 defense, man. Stop goddamn. Like, man, I don't know what the fuck you doing, man. Just put Bobby Brown at nose tackle. Put Derek Brown at goddamn defensive end. And got that Oscar Robinson at the other defensive end. And just got them be fucking done with that shit, man. And then on got them certain downs, you got them want to be exotic and have one down lineman and extra rushers. You can do that, you know what I'm saying? But you don't even do that sometimes. Like, man, it's so frustrating with this motherfucker, man. Like, oh my God, man. J.C. Horn is a fucking beast, man.
Yes,
like,
he
man,
is.
motherfucking pressure and lock these motherfuckers up. Play more fucking man. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? But that shit be pissing me the fuck off. That, and I'm tired of seeing fucking Nick Scott on the fucking field. He's a fucking bum. God damn. Same way with goddamn Tuba, goddamn getting more goddamn carries and goddamn Rico. Rico is fucking better. Play the better goddamn running back. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Run the fucking ball and play great fucking defense. God damn.
I love the passion for Steve Dog.
What the fuck? When Bryce Young come back, had this motherfucker under center. Run the fucking ball.
Yes.
God damn it. What the fuck? It's not that fucking hard, man. God damn. Fuck, man. There's no way we should have got blown out by the fucking Bills, man. If you just come out there and run the fucking ball and throw the ball here and there with Andy Dalton, we win that fucking.
Yep.
Oh, he got cut. Was that the last one?
That was it.
Well, I will say, do shout out C Dog, man. We love C Dog so much.
Man.
Long time listener, long time C3 fan. But you know, again, it brings up the question of Rogero Rivera. Like, he had some really good performances under his tenure now, especially this season. But then you have these games like this one against the Bills, the game like what happened against the Patriots, and you're just left wondering, all right, man, like, we still really don't know what we have in you. We still have a bunch of fans that don't love this defensive scheme that you run. J.C. Horn has been incredible. I mean, dude, we're also going to have to talk. I mean, do we extend Rivero this offseason? And we don't know.
We're not going to talk about that tonight, but yeah, I mean, those are things. But I don't want us to get lost in just a game that you got curb stomped and kicked in the nuts. And to me, the irony of this game is that the Bills beat the Panthers the way the Panthers have beaten the last 3 teams. You know, is that they just ran all over them. Then that allowed them to do whatever they wanted on offense. And then it put our offense into behind schedule things. The Panthers, I would say, it would be easy to say they beat themselves, but even if they played better on, man, I mean, Dalton, look, I want to give the defense credit, and I think Evero needs to get some of this credit, is the fact that Dalton fumbled the ball early on. You held them to 3 points. He threw a pick that got to the goal line. Right. Like, that's not on the defense. Like, you put the defense behind the 8 ball right away. So I think this was just it's not an anomaly. That's not what I'm going to say. It's not an anomaly, but you can't play this type of ball and expect to be competitive. Like, I mean, like those, and we saw those games, and this was for many people who have been critical about Bryce Young, is that was the problem in the early games, is like this. And I'm not comparing this to Bryce Young. I mean, I do believe Bryce Young would have been better in these moments, or it would have been given us a better advantage throughout the game. But the games that people got up here and were going nuts against Bryce and everybody, you spotted them points out the gate. Imagine if the Panthers, think about this, is that fumble by Dalton, if it led to a touchdown in the first quarter, like this could have been a 58-point game.
Yeah,
I do give credit. I think the defense played fine for the first half. Not fine. I mean, look, no, they busted off a 70-yard run. I mean, busted play.
Remember how you were saying earlier that you don't really feel like we should be a buyer or a seller at the trade deadline. Right. Like, I kind of feel that way about Evero and this defense. Like, I'm not wowed by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't think he's getting a head coaching job.
No, I definitely don't. However, I also I don't know. I just also don't think
on entirely yet.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I could take it or leave it. Like, if we did extend him, okay, cool. You could probably do worse than Evero.
However, was one of the highest paid assistant coaches when we hired him.
Yeah.
When we hired Frank Reich, we did all that, and we paid him a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we make him a high-paid defensive coordinator going forward.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if jettisoning him is just
the answer. No, I agree. Hey, by the way, the Panther got 73. At this point in the show, I'm an automaton. I'm literally just clicking on all the comments to make sure they go up. I'm not trying to outshoot typos. Everybody gets their typos put up on the screen. It's an honorary thing at this point. Love you. You're cool.
Those are the calls.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. You want to make predictions?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to say this. Is we pick each week if the Panthers are going to win or lose, like what we think. And I said it earlier. I don't think the Panthers win on the road in Green Bay. If they do, I'm hopeful for it. But if you ask me on a pick 'em sheet, I'm going to say an L this week. Cody?
Yeah, same. I think it's too much to ask for this offensive line to be as injured as they are. And
against a better team, can we just say that?
Yeah, and dude, let's be real.
On the road,
the Packers are probably one of, if not the favorite to win the NFC. Like, to me, the top 3 teams in the NFC are 4. Let's just say 4 is Philadelphia, Detroit, Green Bay, and Tampa Bay. Like, those are the 4 teams that are probably going to be representing the NFC. So losing to this team, especially on the road, and we're not a good road team, that's not necessarily an all-around indictment, but they're a better roster. They're well coached. They're on a roll. They've got defensive studs in the form of Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons. It's just a tall order for the Panthers. I have a hard time picking them, so I won't. I'm picking Green Bay to to get a W on the road. I'm just hoping that the only thing we can hope for is that the Panthers can make it a competitive game.
Yeah, that's what you wanted against the Bills, or at least I wanted a win potentially. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast, and when C-Dog says it's the longest running Panthers podcast, check it. Been doing it since the beginning. Not since 20. Joey and I started in 2014. I said we were gonna wait. I said no, we got to do it. Haven't missed a week. Added shows on Friday free for all, the Sunday post game. We drop extras when they show up, or if they don't show up, who knows? Thank you guys for your time, your support, your energy. But if you're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast, you got to suffer through the longest running segment on the longest running Panthers podcast, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together. It's our homage to Steve Smith. Everybody's fair game. Our family, our friends, outsiders. This is the time we can stick in football or dip our toes outside of football and tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together. Cody, let's ice them fools up.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's our homage to Steve Smith, where everybody's fair game, where we can tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together. Cody Lack, I want to I'll start this. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to just keep it simple and smooth. I'm icing up the ability in your heart and your mind to talk to people in the world like they don't matter, and I will, you know what? I got some, it's okay to have differing opinions. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to dislike. But the way that people interact when they don't have to see your face, look you in the eye. And I'm not saying like, look me in the eye, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we soften the blow, like can still have similar opinions, perspectives, but this distance of a keyboard warrior where you would not talk like that in front of your mother, your grandmother, or your nona. I'm sorry. I'm icing up it's the distance that this created from our humanity. So look, hang out with me, look at me, see me, and then say it. To you that won't do that, ice up.
Ice up. Listen, I'm gonna end fairly lighthearted. I just wonder, I know Panthers fans, we're not that great all the time. I understand that, but why can't Panthers fans at least start to do a little more like what Charlotte Hornets fans do? Tony, I don't know if you saw this. In the spirit of Halloween, the Charlotte FC soccer club owned by David Tepper, they were playing New York, and they brought out this dope ass banner of Freddy Krueger with his claws to an apple. It's like, bro, that's in our stadium. Like that's Bank of America Stadium.
Football fans and soccer fans are a different breed, bro. I've learned that. I underestimated them.
American soccer fans, like damn,
They're football
bro.
fans now,
bro. Why can't we do some cool shit like this?
I'm sure the NFL's got some rules against it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Maybe so. Well, to the NFL, whoever's responsible, if it's the NFL or if it's Panthers fans, Dude, let's do more dope shit like that. Let's have Freddy Krueger stabbing a jet right in between its parts, you know? So, I don't know, man. Let's do more cool shit. Everybody likes cool shit, and we should do more of it. Shout out to cool shit. Ice up.
It's the C3 Panthers podcast. Might be closing the website down. So it's just the C3 Panthers podcast. We're here Tuesday nights, Friday nights for the Friday free for all, where everybody can throw their hat into the arena, Sunday post games, and more. Friendships abound. I love you, Cody. You are my brother.
Love
and
you
when
too,
I say
brother.
you're my wheel man, pun intended.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Cody, take
sir.
us out
Yes,
of here.
sir. C3 Legion, we absolutely love y'all. Until next time, keep pounding, baby. Let's roll.